Well, a pleasant good evening, good afternoon, wherever you may be across the universe, whether that be here in the United States, whether that be in Denver, Colorado, home of the Colorado Avalanche, whether that be up in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, home to the Edmonton Oilers. Welcome into tonight's live stream of game number 4 of the Western Conference Final between the Edmonton Oilers and the Colorado Avalanche. I am not Isha. I got called out of the bullpen. I'm like the e-bug here. I'm the emergency backup goaltender for tonight's live stream. My name is Richie Suave Flores. I am the host of Sporty with Corey and Richie here on the Hockey Podcast Network. That is the Arizona Coyotes-based podcast here on the network, but I got called in for action tonight. I'm excited to be watching Game 4 along with you all. Excited to see if it's the Colorado Avalanche that can get themselves to the Stanley Cup Final for the first time in over 20 years. Thanks for hanging out with me here tonight. You may or may not have seen me around on the channel. I pop in and out from time to time. I did the draft lottery live stream, which was incredible. Y'all were awesome. We're going to get to your comments all night long, and I'm excited to watch this game along with you. I'm excited to see who's in net for the Colorado Avalanche. There was some discussion all day long who would get the start. So if you guys have seen something that I haven't, please let me know. I'm hoping it's Darcy Kemper. As a Coyotes fan, I'm a big Darcy Kemper fan, so I'm hoping Darcy Kemper is back in net for the Colorado Avalanche tonight. For the Edmonton Oilers, we do know it's going to be Mike Smith. Oh boy. How fun has he been these playoffs, everybody? The Mike Smith experience alive and well. They managed to get them to the Western Conference Final is in net tonight for the Oilers. And yeah, this should be an interesting game. I'm curious to see what everybody thinks about this game too, because does anybody think that the Oilers actually have a shot at extending this series? Because I don't think they do. It's been all Avalanche all the time. Their best shot to win a game was back in Game 3, and they blew it. They blew it when they gave up that goal late in the third period there and lost themselves a game. But thanks everybody for joining us. Let's see who we got in the comments here. Let's see here. There's some new people I haven't seen before. Archduke, thanks for hanging out with me tonight. Good to see you. Nice to meet you. Sean, thanks for hanging out with us tonight. Appreciate you. Thanks for joining me on the stream. Now, usually on this, Shannon, thanks for hanging out with us tonight as well. Usually on these streams, I usually have some sort of help with me. My co-host Corey joins me quite often on these live streams. Bayou Benders was with me last time. Unfortunately, it's just me tonight, everybody. So I haven't done this before, going solo. I will tell you, I've worked in radio for many, many years. And going solo is not easy. It's really hard to talk basically to yourself for 2.5, 3 straight hours like we're doing here this evening. So any help you can give me would be incredible. You guys are my co-hosts tonight, so keep commenting in the chat, and I'm going to do my best to try and catch up with what we got here. Who else is joining us? We got our boy Colorado Born is joining us. Go Avs, go. Go Avs, go. Colin says probably Pavel Francouz. Again, I'm still waiting to find out who it is, and if you've seen an update, please let me know. Frankie got a postseason shutout the day before his birthday. What a gift. And I will say, that's the thing that sucks about this game for the Avalanche. You got the guy that got you here, which is Darcy Kuemper. He's been one of the best goaltenders in the league, top 10 goaltenders in the league over the last 3 years, going back to his time in the Coyotes. And then he gets hurt again. Shocker. And then Pavel Francouz comes in, gets a shutout, only allows 2 goals in game number 3. So do you ride the hot hand or do you go back to your workhorse in Darcy Kuemper? Jared Bednar, he's got 2 great options though. So I don't think he can quite make a mistake there. And he says, Jack Eichel says it's the backup for the Avs. So if that's what everybody else is seeing, is Pavel Francouz getting the start tonight for the Avs? Makes sense. He's on a roll. He's the hot hand here this evening. If you're watching us, I do appreciate it. You can, of course, this stream is brought to you by DraftKings and DraftKings Sportsbook. You can sign up with the promo code THPN and you can bet on the NHL playoffs. You can bet on this evening's game if you'd like. I was on a heater there for a bit on DraftKings Sportsbook back around March and April, right at the beginning of the Stanley Cup playoffs. And then all of a sudden, I just hit a wall and couldn't win a bet. So I've taken a break from the betting game at the moment. Daily Faceoff says that is Pavel Francouz starting tonight. So okay, that's cool. Hey, look at that! Isha is in the chat. Thanks, Isha. Appreciate you asking me to do this too. Luckily, I got nothing else to do. It's summer started here in the state of Arizona, so it is triple digits now. So there's no way in hell I'm going outside. I'm just throwing that out there for you, everybody. I'm staying inside, and I'm going to watch this game along with you guys, and it'll be a lot of fun. So what's everybody drinking tonight, by the way? It's 5 o'clock somewhere. It is 5:08 here in the city of Phoenix. City of Glendale is actually where I am. So I am drinking tonight White Claw. This is White Claw Surf. There's like 4 different flavors in the pack I got. I have a pack of 12. I'm not going to finish them all tonight, but maybe we'll get through and try each and every flavor. This is the Tropical Pomelo Smash. So that's what I am drinking here this evening as I watch this game along with you. And Front Row Production says he's drinking Sunny D because I work tomorrow. Hey, I work tomorrow too, buddy. But you know what? Sometimes we all deserve a little break, don't we? All deserve a little break. Isha's drinking some whiskey. My man, I have some whiskey in my cabinet. And I don't have any ice to go with it, so I can't mix anything with it. So I'm going to avoid the whiskey tonight. I'm going to go, since again, it's 100 degrees, going with the White Claw tonight. Going with the White Claw. We got Jeff tuning in, hanging out with us. Where are you streaming from? Jeff's in St. Louis. They just had the first NASCAR Cup race this weekend there in St. Louis, Jeff. I don't know if you're a NASCAR fan, but Worldwide Technology Raceway out there, they hosted their first Cup race. I'm in Glendale, Arizona. I'm actually right across the street from Gila River Arena, where the former home of the Arizona Coyotes. That's where I'm at, right across the street from the former home of the Coyotes. And if you're just tuning in, I am the host of the Coyotes podcast here on the Hockey Podcast Network. So I am a Coyotes fan. I know y'all are probably like, "Oh, he's crazy." What? There's actually Coyotes fans. Yes, there is, and I'm a big one. I'm a big one. Let's see what we got here. We got. If we get $20 in donations, can you order some food live? Sure. Bring it on. I don't know what options I have around here, but yeah, you can do that. You can super chat and you can donate. And if we do get to $20 in donations, I'll order some random food. I'll look it up on Uber Eats and we can figure out what we got going on, and we'll do it as a group, and it'll be a lot of fun. So yeah, donate to the channel. I appreciate it. It'll pay for my dinner tonight because I am actually quite hungry. So we got Front Row chiming. He's a federal employee in DC. We'll leave the drinking to Nancy Pelosi. Nancy Pelosi's in her 80s. She's got to drink up, girlfriend. And thank you, Colorado Born, for shouting this out. Kuemper is dressed, but he's not starting. So it is going to be Pavel Francouz tonight for the Colorado Avalanche. in Game 4 here as they look to move on to the Stanley Cup Final. And I got to tell you, again, as a Coyotes fan, if somebody who covers the Coyotes, who's watched the Coyotes on a regular basis across, obviously, the last many, many years, and a big fan of Darcy Kemper, my friend Jordan and I, when Darcy was still with the Coyotes, we created a hashtag Darcy for Vezina. Didn't quite work out. Never got the nomination that I thought he deserved there for a couple seasons. And so I've always been a big Darcy Kemper fan. And unfortunately, Avalanche fans, you got a taste of what we Coyotes fans went through for years, which is that he always gets hurt at completely inopportune times. And luckily for the Avalanche, they have a very capable backup in Pavel Francouz to get them through the last 2 games. Oh, and yeah, the opposing goaltender is Mike Smith. So let's see what else we got going on here in the chat. Shannon says White Claw is like beer without the gluten or sugar. Hold on a second. That's true. There's only 1 gram of sugar in these things, which I didn't realize. I even haven't tried this. I've been yapping the entire time. So if you excuse me, if you are drinking at home, even if you're drinking water, whatever you may be drinking, cheers everybody. Let's enjoy the game tonight. Tropical Pomelo Smash, not bad. Little tart, little tart. Archduke Ramon says thumbs up to the loyalty of the Coyotes. He's from St. Louis as well. Hey, a couple people from St. Louis tuning in tonight. Appreciate you tuning in. And also, for those of you watching who haven't had a chance to check us out before, check me out before, if you have any questions about the Coyotes situation as we watch along with this game, please ask. I'm here to answer your questions. I'm here to do my best to explain to you what is happening here, because I'm sure a lot of you who are on Twitter, social media, wherever you may be, you see all those comments about the Coyotes and most of the time they are completely wrong. So if you have any questions about the Coyotes and their situation, please ask. I'm more than willing to explain to you what exactly is going on here. Here's Isha chipping in with $5 Canadian. Thanks for jumping on tonight, buddy. Have a great stream. Asking to show me some love. If you want, have at it. I appreciate it a lot. First of all, I appreciate your time. The fact that you're watching me while you're watching this game means a lot. Hopefully, I don't annoy the crap out of you over the next 2.5 hours. So we're going to be clicking me off. But that's totally okay. Totally okay. Let's see. Who else we got? Isha's around. He has other commitments, so he couldn't sit down and do the stream for all 2.5 hours. So I'm the emergency backup host, the EBUH, the EBUH. And the game is not quite started. They're doing the Canadian national anthem right now. I am delayed a little bit too because I'm streaming it. So I'm probably going to be like a minute behind everybody else. So I do apologize if that's the case. Let's see what we got here. What else we got going on? How about this? We got somebody singing the Star Spangled Banner. Should I like stand up, hand over heart, hockey kid, and sing the national anthem for you? I can't sing, so that's not going to happen. Osber hanging out with us tonight. Appreciate you tuning in. I'm assuming you're a Lightning fan. That's why your name is Osber Lightning. Good luck. I am rooting. I will tell you this much. I don't know if I'm alone in this or not, but that's the Stanley Cup Final I know I want to see. The Rangers have outplayed the Lightning for most of that series, right? But man, how great would a Lightning Avalanche Stanley Cup Final be? That matchup would be the best matchup we've gotten in a Stanley Cup Final in quite a few years. So Donnell is tuning in. Appreciate you, Donnell. As you know, I'm a diehard New York sports fan that watches the local teams, Rangers, Islanders, Devils. I did see the video of the Coyotes getting that Tempe Arena, and it looks nice. That's the latest, Donnell. That's the latest. They had the Tempe City Council meeting. Game is about to get started, by the way. I'm actually going to make sure that I have a flash score up for you guys so you can make sure we're on the right thing here. Let's see. Match summary. I think that's where we need to be. Okay, perfect. All right. So anyway, latest on the Coyotes quickly before we get this game started. Yes, and there was an 8-hour city council meeting that I watched all 8 hours of, and they did vote to continue negotiations with the city of Tempe and the Coyotes. And it's not finalized yet, so we're still about, I'd say, 8 to 9 months away from getting a final vote on whether or not the Coyotes are going to be able to build their arena in the city of Tempe. So that's the latest. And you saw those renderings, and they look really cool. And maybe we'll talk about that as we get later on this evening in an intermission, as we are about to get started here. Connor McDavid, Nathan McKinnon. Whew, whew. Man, how cool has this series been that we've gotten to see those two guys play each other all series long? I was looking at Connor McDavid's stats earlier today. He's got 30 points in 15 games. Just ridiculous, the fact that we get to watch him play. Like, I'm too young to have watched a lot of the greats, Wayne Gretzky's, even Mario Lemieux for that matter. So the fact that we can watch Connor McDavid on a nightly basis is truly, truly awesome. And Isha's right. Yep. The name of my podcast, Sporty with Corey and Richie. You can go and subscribe. We did our episode about the city council meeting a few days ago, and you can go listen to that for 45 minutes of in-depth conversation. Osborne's a Pens fan, so are you just bandwagoning the Lightning for the playoffs? Is that what we're doing here? What we're doing? Go Pens, go. Shannon says Ranger fans getting annoying. I think you can say that for all New York fans. Sorry, guys. If I know we have some New York Rangers and New York fans in the building. But I would say that about New York fans. And I would say that about LA fans for the most part, too, to be honest. Front Row Productions is a Caps fan. Sorry they didn't make it further this year. Colorado says, well, what would be the last cup that would match the Lightning Avalanche cup possibility? Hype. Exactly. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think there's any, right? I mean, you could argue that any Stanley Cup final with New York in it is a big deal. And I would tell you, somebody who's worked in sports media and somebody who is into kind of ratings and who watches what, et cetera, you put New York in the Stanley Cup final, that might honestly be the best thing for the sport, because I think you're going to have more and more people tuning in to watch because it's New York. Even though from hockey's perspective, it may not be all that as exciting to us hockey nerds who really want to see the two-time Cup champions going up against the best team from the Western Conference in the Colorado Avalanche and watching that matchup. Liam, thanks for tuning in, man. Appreciate you. Let's see. What else we got here? What else? We got, of course, I know you're a Vegas fan. Of course. Are you going to get Bruce Cassidy to be your head coach down there in Vegas? He's gone. He got fired today by the Boston Bruins for whatever reason. Smart move by them. Yeah, 2014 Kings Rangers. Here's the thing. As you know, as a Coyotes fan, got a great chance here by Edmonton. French Hughes makes a stop. That one, I think the ratings for that one were pretty high because of New York. And so, and LA. You had New York and LA. Anytime you get New York and LA in a sport like hockey, even in a sport like hockey, the ratings are going to go super, super high. So I would agree with that. We got Hockey Kid weighing in here saying Avs Rangers, Avs Lightning, Oilers Rangers, Oilers Lightning. That is true. Is that your ranking? Is that what you want to see? Do you want Hockey Kid? You want to see Avs Rangers in the final? Rangers are playing great hockey right now. They got the best player in the world you can right now, in Igor Shesterkin, at least as far as goaltending goes. So Shannon says, I only drink warm beverages because I sing a lot. Ooh, that's cool. That's interesting. I actually didn't know that, Shannon. I did not know. I can't sing worth a damn. So I had no idea that was the case. And so, yeah, that's actually pretty interesting. Well, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Tuning into the Hockey Podcast Network tonight, you learned something. That if you are a singer, drinking warm beverages keeps your vocal cords intact. And I will say this. Speaking of singing, I was at a concert on Saturday night. I went to go see Andy Grammer. Got a penalty coming up here on the Oilers for slashing. So we're going to get a first look at the Colorado power play here this evening. And my vocal cords are shot because I sang the entire hour and a half concert, and my vocal cords are absolutely shot. Jack Eichel may be talking about Bruce Cassidy, I'm assuming. He's a good coach, man. Like, went to the Stanley Cup final a couple years ago. I don't know why he's not in on it, but Where's Corey? Corey is unavailable tonight. She's working. Again, this was a last minute thing for me to come in and host. I asked Corey to join me. She might pop in maybe later this evening. So be on the lookout for Corey, my co-host. Let's see what else we got here. What else? We got Jeff chiming in. Richie, I don't know any players on the Coyotes team. That's okay. To be honest, neither do I. Outside of Phil Kessel, Clayton Keller, Nick Schmaltz. That's about it. They have a lot of, and then, yeah, that's about it. That's all you need to know, pretty much, as far as I'm concerned. In terms of the Coyotes roster, it's going to look a lot different coming down the pike here. Couple of great chances here by Colorado on their power play. And they score. It's 1-0 Colorado, everybody. It's Cale Makar who gets the first goal of the game. Shocker, past Mike Smith on the power play. And it is 1-0 Colorado. Less than 4 minutes into the hockey game. Let's see what happens here. Got a turnover there by the Oilers, and just Cale Makar just doing Cale Makar things. You know what's funny? If you watch this again, I'm watching the replay right now. He made that look effortless, didn't he? Cale Makar, like, he didn't even look like he wound up to take that shot. It wasn't even a slap shot. It was just, it looked like he took no effort at all to give the Avalanche the lead. And that's amazing. That's amazing. Jack Eichel says Makar is getting a Hattie today. Would not surprise me. That'd be awesome. I freaking love Cale Makar, man. He so much fun to watch, and I'm sad he's not a Coyote. Sad he's not a Coyote. I will say that much. Shannon says I could teach you how to sing with one song. Oh, there's no teaching me, my friend. There is no teaching this voice. I'll tell you that much. Jeff says Red Rocks is awesome. Been there a few times. Eagles and Hootie, freaking great. I have never been to Red Rocks. I was actually in Denver for a concert in the fall. I went to go see 21 Pilots at Ball Arena, home to the Colorado Avalanche. Loved Denver. Loved it. City was awesome. And so seeing a show at Red Rocks is definitely on my bucket list for sure. For sure. Yeah, how about that matchup too, Shannon? Cale Makar and Connor McDavid. This is why the series has been so fun. Is just how many massive names, the star power in this series has been incredible. And I think it's unfortunate that Colorado is leading the series 3-0, so it's going to be short. Like I said earlier in the show, I just don't see how Edmonton gets it done. I don't see how Edmonton extends the series. I think we're going to get a Colorado sweep tonight. And I don't know how much of you are going to agree with me on that, but I think that it's a shame that we're not going to get a 5, 6, 7 game series here, a longer series with this star power. And what are you guys' thoughts about this too? If you're Connor McDavid, at what point do you ask out of Edmonton? Because this is the second time now, right? Because he made it to the Western Conference Final several years ago too. But for a team that continues to put out Mike Smith as your starting goaltender, what a waste, man. What a waste of Connor McDavid's talent. He's already in the Hall of Fame, for goodness sake, as far as I'm concerned, right? And you get to the Western Conference Finals and you get your ass whooped because your goaltending is subpar. It's so stupid. They've known this for years, that Mike Smith is not the guy, and they refused. They refused to go out and get Darcy Kemper when he was available in the offseason. That just blew my mind. And now you're going to see the Avalanche, who have all the talent in the world, who decide to get rid of their starting goaltender from previous seasons and let him go to Seattle, and they go and pick up Darcy Kemper, and boom, now they're in the conference final. Wild to me. Just wild. The Oilers' complete mismanagement of two of the best players in the world with Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl. Let's roll through here. Rocky Horror Picture Show. Is that this one of the songs you were talking about there? I've actually never seen it. I've never seen Rocky Horror Picture Show. Maybe because I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm too young to really understand it. But I've never seen it. Never seen the movie. Never seen it live. I'll watch it at some point because I feel like it's one of those things that I should see at some point. It's 1-0 Colorado, by the way, as they take the first TV timeout. Cale Makar opened the scoring for the Avs about 7 minutes in to game number 4 up there in Edmonton. Thanks for hanging out with me tonight here on the Hockey Podcast Network live stream. Game 4 of the Western Conference Final. Avs and Oilers. My name is Richie Suave Flores. I am the host of Sporty with Corey and Richie here on the Hockey Podcast Network. Brought to you by DraftKings. Use the promo code THPN when you sign up to get a bunch of deals. If you're watching along and you're enjoying what you're seeing, you can subscribe to the channel. Watch alongs for the rest of the Stanley Cup playoffs into the Stanley Cup final. Content galore. If you really, really like what you're seeing, you can donate. You can super chat. That goes to my dinner, basically, is what's happening here. It goes directly to me. If you're enjoying listening to my ridiculous voice, just yammer on for the next several hours while we watch this game along together. Please feel free to donate. I would really appreciate it. And there's 30 of you watching right now, so I appreciate you guys hanging in there with me. Hopefully I'm entertaining. I try my best to be entertaining. Again, usually I do this with my co-host Corey. And so doing this by myself is interesting. Kind of tough, to be honest. Patricia says, brother saw Chicago at Red Rocks. Ooh, that's a cool show right there. That's a cool show. Christian says 7-0 Avalanche. Wouldn't surprise me. Again, as a Coyotes fan, I'm used to that because when the Coyotes played the Avalanche in the bubble playoffs a couple years ago, that's pretty much what was happening on a nightly basis. All sports fan Adam says it's a shame the Oilers can't defend the series ending early was on them. That's kind of what I was saying is like the way that they have built their team is just it's such a shame to waste Connor McDavid. It really is. And you know what? I would say that I would compare it if we have fans from other sports too is Mike Trout with the Angels and Shohei Ohtani too as well. You can put him in there, which is like Mike Trout has been the best player in baseball for several years, and then yet they have yet to really contend or make the playoffs, and it's just unfortunate and a shame. Let's see who else we got. What else we got going on here? What else we got going on in the chat? Appreciate you tuning in, everybody. Once again, Patricia says, hi, Mr. Flores. Thank you. I appreciate it. That's actually, I feel like fancy. Mr. Flores. I feel like a teacher. Oh, what a chance by Colorado there. Who was that? Was it Cassian? No, it wasn't Cassian. Great chance though. Just barely. I think it hit the pipe maybe. I don't have the sound on, so I'm not 100%. Can't really tell, but what else we got here? Al got some stats for us. Series power plays, Avs 16, Oilers 6. Suspensions, Kane, Landeskog, early power play tonight, 3 missed calls on Avs. Disgusting to watch. I'm assuming, are you a Oilers fan? Or are we just a fan tuning in? I'm actually kind of curious. Because yeah, I figure if you're an Oilers fan, it is kind of disgusting, huh? Isn't it? 25 or 6-4. Yes. Chicago. Here's the thing. I'm a young man. At least I understand a Chicago reference when I get it. So I appreciate that. Hockey Kid chiming in. Let's go Avs. We will win the cup this year. 2 for 2. 1,000% run rate in the cup. Thanks for the $4.99 donation, man. I appreciate you a lot. Seriously, you have no idea how much that means to me that like people are tuning in to watch this tonight, to hang out, to chit chat. And just again, let me yammer pretty much for several hours. And you guys are kind enough to donate your heart and money to the channel, to myself. I cannot thank you enough. Like seriously, like that really does mean a lot to me. Hockey Kid, I appreciate you, man. And yeah, appreciate you. Parker says, go Avs. Oh, that was Josh Manson with the chance. Oh gosh, how did that not go in, man? Holy smokes, what a chance. I just saw the replay of that Josh Manson chance. And that almost got underneath the bar, didn't it? That almost got underneath the bar for a goal to put Colorado up 2-0, but they couldn't quite get the puck luck there, right? Chicago song. Yep. Dono hype. I don't know. Isha, I don't know what that means. Oh, dono. Donation. Jesus Christ. Donation. I'm an idiot, everybody. I am an absolute idiot. I have not drank it enough, I promise. I promise. Halfway through the first period, 1-0 Avs. Shots on goal 10-5 Colorado. Got a penalty coming up here. And we're going to have Edmonton going on the power play. If I am not mistaken. So, going to get a look at the... Holding the stick looks like, too. That hockey kid hype. Yeah, thank you again. I appreciate that so much. You have no idea. 25 or 64 best guitar solos. My music taste is very, very fascinating. And so like when it comes to like picking out my favorite guitar solos, that'd be tough for me to choose, especially at the top of my head. Top of my head. Sure, saying hi, Christian. Hi, Christian. Yeah, thanks for tuning in. City Block Project. Hi, Isha. Again, Isha unfortunately cannot do the entire show tonight, so he asked me to hop in and do the show instead. So thanks, everybody. Like, I know a lot of you are probably like, oh, Isha's going to do the show. I'm very excited to see Isha, and they got me. So sorry if you were expecting to see Isha, who does a terrific job at these things. And so I feel like I have big shoes to fill here. Like I said, it's tough to do these on your own. It really is. And so moving on here, Archduke Ramon, since talking solos takes up more energy, more food is needed to replenish. Ain't that the truth? Ain't that the truth? Once again, I cannot thank you enough, Ramon, for sending your hard-earned money my way. I appreciate that. Right now, we're at $15. Isha gave $5. Another $5 donation. And now Ramon chiming in with $5 more to feed me tonight, which I do appreciate. I do appreciate that a lot. So if my math is correct, we are $5 away from being able for me to order some food. I have my phone here. I'll pull up some Uber Eats, Edmonton on their power play here, and I'll order some food, and you guys can help me pick what I'm eating tonight. But here's the thing: I'm living in an apartment, and my apartment complex doesn't have a doorbell, so I have my AirPods in. So good luck for me trying to hear the doorbell when the food arrives. I will say that much. But again, Ramon, appreciate you, man. I really do. I cannot thank you enough. Like it's wild to me. Anytime I see watching streams of other YouTubers, of other content creators, and people give their money to those people, I always am like, it blows my mind that you guys are cool enough to donate your money. So again, I appreciate you. I appreciate you, Ramon, so much. Thank you. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. And yeah, if you are cool enough to, again, send me $5 more, I'm going to order some food off of Uber Eats and see what happens. Donnell chimed in and said, are you happy that the NHL's with ESPN, TNT, TBS to show playoff games? Yes. I will say this. I don't know if anybody else noticed this the other day. I think this was game 2 of the Eastern Conference Final over the weekend. And ESPN, I was watching on the ESPN app, and ESPN had some of the worst audio I've ever heard from a professional sports television broadcast. Eastern Conference Final. And everything sounded like absolute trash. And I don't know why it did. And I saw people commenting it on Twitter too, and it was just blew my absolute mind. Edmonton cannot convert on their power play. Still 1-0 with about 7.5 minutes to go in the first period of play from Edmonton here in Game 4 of the Western Conference Final. Generally, though, TNT, I think, does an absolute incredible job. I love watching TNT broadcast. They make me laugh. I think they're insightful. I love the group of guys they got on their intermissions. Kenny Albert is one of the best NHL play-by-play guys out there. I'm a big fan of Eddie O as well, so I'm a big fan of TNT more so than what ESPN brings to the table in terms of their NHL coverage. Christian is asking who's in net for the Avalanche. It is indeed Pavel Francouz tonight who got the start. If I'm not mistaken, Darcy Kemper is dressed. He's on the bench tonight, so he is not starting. And let's see what else we got here. Jeff says the best guitar solo was Eddie Van Halen. Can't go wrong with that. Cannot go wrong with Eddie Van Halen. Cannot. Let's see what else we got here. Archduke says Eddie Van Halen is one of the better guitarists. My favorite instrumentalist, Link Ray. Says Uber Eats, they eat part of your food. Do you have any better options? I guess DoorDash? DoorDash? I don't know. Let's see what I got here. Let's see. Bear with me. I'm going to look up and see what food ordering options I have. Yeah, I just have DoorDash and Uber Eats. That's about it. Those are my choices. So again, $5 more throughout the stream tonight. If you're amazing enough to do that, I'll pop open the app and we'll order some, and you guys can pick what I'm eating tonight. I will point this out, not allergic to anything, so you can order me pretty much anything you want. However, I am in Arizona, so I would advise against anything seafood. So please, for the love of God, no G-dang fish here in the state of Arizona, ladies and gentlemen. Shots on goal evened up at 10 apiece, by the way. Things have kind of evened up a little bit. Again, I'm kind of watching this out of the corner of my eye. I feel like the shots on goal have evened up. Colorado had the best chances very early on. They actually had the early goal. They had Josh Manson hit the crossbar earlier. But here in the back half of the period, Edmonton's kind of hanging around at least. So, again, it's only a 1-goal game. If you can hang around with 1 goal and you got Connor McGarry on your team, I think you're gonna be okay. You're gonna be okay. Uber your food. Maybe, possibly. We'll see. Shannon also saying, Arby's, order extra beef. You know what's funny? I haven't had Arby's in years. Not a big Arby's guy. In fact, I don't really eat a lot of fast food in general. I used to do it all the time when I was in college years ago. Don't really do it anymore. Roger's asking, where's Isha? Isha is off tonight. He's been popping in and out of the chat, though. So he had other commitments going on tonight. So he asked me to fill in. And since you were asking, Roger, I'll introduce myself to you and anybody else new who is chiming in with us here this evening. My name is Richie Suave Flores. I am the host of Sporty with Corey and Richie on the Hockey Podcast Network. The team I cover is the Arizona Coyotes. Yes, we do exist. Coyotes fans do exist. And I am one of them. So thanks for tuning in tonight, Roger. Appreciate you. I know I have big shoes to fill without Isha here. So Northeast Corridor says, let's go Oilers. Hanging around, man. Hanging around. Only down a goal. Getting late here in the first period. Like I was just kind of mentioning, like that's not bad. Like if you're within a goal with Mike Smith and net, you're hanging around. And then it's a long game. You still got plenty of time to get back in the game. Ramon saying saw Link Ray live in the 90s was very good. You know what's fun? I'd never heard of Link Ray. You're going to kill me, aren't you, Ramon? Sorry, you're going to like retract your super chat that you gave me earlier because I do not know who that is. Again, I'm 31 years old, folks. So some of you may be a few years older than me, throwing out references to things I don't know. I feel bad. I'm a pretty cultured person, but sometimes that's not the case. 5.5 minutes to go, by the way, here in the first period. Colorado up 1-0. Shannon says Frankfurter. Do they have hot dogs there at Arby's? Maybe they do. I'm a big fan of a bratwurst, so I will say that. No ketchup on your bratwurst. No ketchup on your hot dogs either. Don't do it. I picked that up from people I know who are from the Midwest, and they're like that. They're like, no, you cannot put ketchup on your hot dog whatsoever. Patricia chiming in saying, love the cheese on the beef, but they got rid of the hash browns. I wouldn't have pegged Arby's as a breakfast place with the hash browns. That's interesting. Other people are chiming in saying they haven't heard of Link Ray either. So Herman saying that's okay. I will do this after the show. I promise I'll look them up, check them out, and see. And yeah, like Ramon, you said you were from St. Louis, right? Mustard on dogs and brats. I agree. I actually like relish as well on mine, so that's usually what I'll do. I'll do mustard and relish. Jeff says only on hamburgers, mustard and brats. Again, I'm glad we're in agreement here tonight, folks. I like this. This is amazing. I love when the Hockey Podcast Network YouTube chat is agreeing with myself here this evening. I actually had some. I had a hot dog the other day, and that's what I did. I just did mustard, relish. That's it. Frankfurter and Goldenite. Ah, yes, Frankie. Pavel Francouz. Frankie. 4.5 to go here in the first period. Most Arizona thing ever, by the way, is this mug I have. That's a rattlesnake mug, everybody. Nobody else on the network has a rattlesnake mug like this. I just got water on my laptop. That's not cool. I actually got this from the Rattlesnake Museum in New Mexico. That's where that comes from. Donnell says his favorites are McDonald's, White Castle, Popeyes, Burger King. Tried Shake Shack twice. Love it. Now, I'm glad we're talking fast food here, because we're getting another power play here. And looks like we're going to get the Edmonton Oilers back on the power play for the second time here in the first period. And they get a crack at tying this game up. As again, Edmonton's kind of come back in this game a little bit here. They now lead in shots on goal 11-10 for what it's worth. Got Nugent there, Zach Hyman, Connor McDavid chatting it up, trying to get this game tied up. And yeah, so I'm going to preach here for those, some of you I'm sure aren't, obviously most of you probably aren't on the West Coast. Me being in Arizona, if you ever get a chance to show up either here in Arizona, California, I believe in Nevada, a couple other places here on the West Coast, In-N-Out Burger. Take my word for it. My favorite fast food joint, for sure. Can't remember that. Hot dogs on menu. I love mustard and pickles on my hot dogs. Get them at baseball games. There you go. There you go. Rattlesnake mug looks sick. Isn't that so cool? I'm so happy. Like, it's the coolest thing. I wanted to go big for you guys this evening. So yeah, I went with the rattlesnake mug tonight for my water. And then I went with the White Claw as my alcoholic beverage. Little malfunction going on with Pavel Francouz in net there. 3:45 to go in the first period. Edmonton on the power play looking to tie this bad boy up in Game 4 of the Western Conference Final. Thanks for tuning in tonight, everybody. Do appreciate you once again. just me tonight. So if you're in the chat, you're my co-host tonight, and I do appreciate you. We are closing in on the $20 donation mark. If we get to the $20 donation mark, and we are $5 away at last check, I will be ordering some food live on the stream. This is something that Isha does all the time. And Isha lets everybody choose what he gets to eat. So I'm going to be doing the same thing if we get to that mark here this evening. Shorthand chance there by Colorado. And Mike Smith makes it safe. All right, let's see what else we got here. Patricia saying worked at Burger King twice, one in two different cities. New Shake Shack here. Shake Shack is an East Coast thing, right? Like I know there's one in Las Vegas. I think I've been there like one time. So I can't really comment on Shake Shack. It's not a big thing out here on the West Coast as much as on the East Coast. Avs down, shots on goal. Never. Here's the thing. They are. Isn't that wild? It's 12-11 Edmonton right now in terms of shots on goal. And Edmonton, again, on their second power play with about a minute to go. And it's not going well. Another shorthanded chance there by the Avalanche. And we are still 1-0 late in the first period of play. Patricia says, in Florida. Nice. So that's what I thought. Shake Shack, more of an East Coast thing. I will say this about Florida. Never been there. But I do not want to do the humidity, folks. Again, our high today here in the great state of Arizona was 106 degrees Fahrenheit. It is now almost 6 o'clock here in Arizona, and it is still triple digits. Zach chiming in. Thanks for tuning in. Much appreciate you. Saying hey. Hey, Zach. I'm Richie. Nice to meet you, buddy. Appreciate you. Donnell says, never had In-N-Out. Those are only on the West Coast. Yes, they are only on the West Coast. Like I said, I think the furthest west they go is Texas, maybe. So if you're ever out in Texas, Nevada, California, Arizona, gotta try In-N-Out. Sometimes people overhype it. And so people from the East Coast, they'll come out here to Arizona or California traveling, and they'll have In-N-Out, and they're like, this is overrated. Get out here with that. And it's not overrated. Nathan says you should get a Big Mac. You know what? I haven't had a Big Mac in probably since college, which was 8 years ago. So that's on the menu. Maybe that might happen. And Donnell with the follow-up, do you know what you will order? I don't. That's the thing, is I'm going to literally open up my DoorDash app. And if we get $5 more in donations, I'm going to let you guys choose what I order. And I will literally pull it up on my phone, and I will let you guys pick what I order. I'm in an area with a bunch of different restaurants, both chain restaurants and local. And so it's pretty easy to get something to eat out here. So just don't make it too crazy. Again, I'll pretty much eat anything. Again, I'm pretty hungry at the moment anyway. So Edmonton 0 for 2 on their power play tonight. Only 4 shots on goal across those 2 power plays. If you ask me, when you have Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl on your power play, you get 2 chances at it to tie the game, and you don't do it, you're not going to win very many hockey games. Colorado with a couple big opportunities there on Mike Smith, making a couple big saves. 1-0. Colorado late here in the first period. Jeff says it's in the Midwest as well. Are you talking about Shake Shack? Because I know for sure that In-N-Out Burger doesn't go very far west. There is an In-N-Out in St. Louis. Oh, not. Okay, that's what I thought. In-N-Out only goes, yeah, that's what I thought. In-N-Out only goes like to Texas. That's what I thought. We'll like to see Utah. Never been to Utah. Sounds cool. Did you mention what college I went to? No, I didn't. I did not. Hang on a second. Do I have? Stand by. Okay. All right. Nope, don't have it. I went to Arizona State. Go Devils. Into the first period, Avalanche lead 1-0 after the first 20 minutes of play. So yes, I'm a proud Sun Devil. Graduated from the Walter Cronkite School of Journalism and Mass Communication in 2014. Wait, there's still 45 seconds left in my stream, but I thought they had gone to... Anyway, it's 1-0 Colorado as they wind up the first period. Yes, ASU. Go Devils. Go Devils. Dry heat in St. Louis, it's the opposite. I will say that. That's the thing is like I was kind of mentioning a little bit earlier. Dry heat's fine, but I can't do humidity. University of Michigan out of college baseball. I can't say I'm a big college baseball guy. I covered some ASU baseball when I was in school, and it just wasn't my thing. I'm actually a pretty big baseball guy. I have a Luis Gonzalez jersey behind me. Oh, there we go. Now we're officially intermission. Colorado leads it 1-0. I'm going to take a break here in just a second because I'm going to need another White Claw, fill up my water, reset the stream a little bit. But thanks, everybody, for commenting. Let's catch up here. ASU Party School. Yes, they are very well known for doing that. And I was not a big party guy in school. just not my vibe whatsoever. But yes, it is very, very well known for being a party school. And a lot of college students love going to Mill Avenue, which is in Tempe, which is going to be pretty adjacent to where the Coyotes want to build their new rink. So Donnell saying, is Arizona hot all year round? It is not. It is not. From about mid-May till about late September, hot as balls, triple digits all the time. But from late September until mid-April, pretty solid. And it's really nice, which is why we have spring training out here. In the spring, we're looking at like 60s or 70s as the high. 70s. There we go. Thanks, Isha, for the shout out there to bring up the stats so y'all can see that at home. So I appreciate you. That's it. I don't do a lot of these, so sometimes I get a little screwed up. But yeah, there's their statistics for you. You can see the shots on goal and et cetera, et cetera. Shannon says you went to school where girls wear bikinis. Truth. Not wrong there. The women of Arizona State, top notch, if I'm not mistaken. Patricia saying, University of Florida, went to University of Phoenix for communications. University of Miami, my school. The U. Jeff chiming in saying, I had visited ASU to play college baseball, ended up at Southern Illinois for baseball, played with few MLB players from my team. Steve Finley. Holy crap, no way. Hey. You're going to get me on a rant there by bringing up Steve Finley. Here, can you clarify though? Steve Finley just went to your school, right? Like, you didn't actually play with him? Because if you play with them, that would be awesome. Because Steve Finley is a legend in these parts. Multi-time Gold Glover. Played center field for the 2001 world champion Arizona Diamondbacks. I'm a massive, massive fan of Steve Finley. So I'm glad you brought up that name. I have his autograph lying around. Cool dude. Met him a couple times. There are ones in Colorado for In-N-Out. Did not know that. Front row, Oklahoma State. Cowboys. All right, everybody. I'm going to take a little break here, and I will come back with more in just a moment. Thanks again for tuning in. It's 1-0 Colorado Avalanche of the first 20 minutes of play from Edmonton in Game 4 of the Western Conference Final. Can Colorado hang on and make it to the first Stanley Cup Final? Stick around for the rest of the stream. Maybe you'll find out. I'll be back in just a few minutes, everybody. I'll come back with a new White Claw. I'm going to see if my co-host Corey can join us here in just a few minutes. But hang around. You're watching the Hockey Podcast Network watch along for Game 4 of the Western Conference Final. And we'll be back in just a moment.
All right, teams, time to bet NFL games. Confidence.
I'm feeling a parlay with more legs than a spider.
So 9 legs?
Roll the dice, baby.
Indecision?
We picked one home favorite. I abstain.
You can't abstain.
Boring! 6-leg parlay, 2 home dogs, all hitting the over. Boom!
Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and feel the NFL action like never before.
Whew. Welcome back, everybody. Game number 4 of the Western Conference Final, right here on the Hockey Podcast Network YouTube channel. 2 minutes, not quite long enough. I had to rush my ass back here, fill up my water in my rattlesnake mug, which I showed off a little bit earlier. Got me a new White Claw. I'll tell you what I'm drinking just a second there. But yeah, let's reset this bad boy. Avalanche are up 1-0 right now after 1 period of play as they look to advance to the Stanley Cup final. I'm watching TNT, if you're watching the game along with me. And I'm looking at Paul Bissonnette. I can't take him seriously. Cannot take Paul Bissonnette seriously after he lost that bat and had to shave his hair. So what are your thoughts about the first period of play? Kind of a pretty even first period for the most part, I thought, right? You look at the shots on goal there, and it's Colorado had just a little bit of the edge. Edmonton 0 for 2 on their couple of power play chances. It was Cale Makar that gave Colorado the lead on a great shot from the point that beat Mike Smith. But Edmonton's hanging around, man. This isn't all Colorado like we've seen in the past earlier in this series. And, you know, the TNT crew's bringing up right now the amount of block shots that Colorado has, and that's 9 block shots in the first period of play, which is kind of wild. If you're joining me here tonight, and it is just me, Richie Suave Flores from Sporty with Corey and Richie of the Hockey Podcast Network, covering the Arizona Coyotes. Isha messaged me about an hour and a half beforehand, was like, hey, Richie, do you want to take over for me? I'm unavailable to do the whole game. Can you do this instead? I was like, hell yeah, let's go. I love doing these things. So you guys are my co-host this evening in the chat, and you guys have been awesome so far. We've had several donations from you guys. And again, I'm going to sound like a broken record with this, but I seriously, like, the coolest thing ever that you guys are giving your hard-earned money to the channel, to the stream, to myself so I can eat dinner tonight. And we're $5 away, ladies and gentlemen, from you being able to pick what I eat for dinner. I'm going to pull up DoorDash on my phone, and we are going to order along with me as I pick my food. But again, we need $5 more in donations before the end of the stream to make that happen. The chat is popping off tonight, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. Give some shout outs to what we got going on here. Beer, sports, whatever, chiming in. And yeah, if you're watching and you haven't subscribed yet, do it, because we're going to be doing these every night of the Stanley Cup playoffs, even through the Stanley Cup final, which I can't wait for no matter who plays. Like, even if we get New York and Colorado, it's still going to be a good series, right? Better than the NBA finals this year. That much I will say. But I'm a bitter Suns fan, so. Patricia said, met Ron Frazier, who was the winningest college baseball coach ever until he died. Nice guy. He signed my Miami baseball hat. Nice. Jeff says he was born in Lakewood, Colorado. Yeah. Shannon not minding this chat at all. Again, yeah. The community that we built here on the Hockey Podcast Network YouTube channel, every time I have the opportunity to host one of these things, like, you guys have been great. You guys couldn't be nicer to myself, to my co-host Corey when she's been able to join me. And it's a really cool community that we built. And so I can't thank you enough. And I hope you guys are enjoying watching me, hearing my voice alongside the game. If you're doing that, kind of watching a second screen experience. And the way I like to do these things is, like, I know most of you are going to be able to watch the game. So the way I like to do these things, and if you guys want to hear more of what's actually happening on the ice, please let me know. I can do that, certainly. But the way I like to do things around here is I like to handle this like we're every single one of us watching, and there's 32 of you watching right now, that we're watching this at a bar. What do you do when you're watching at a bar? You chit-chat about everything. You chit-chat about whatever's on your mind. You're not just watching the game. You're drinking along. You're having a good time. That's what I want this to be. So that's why I'm not focusing too much about what's happening on the ice during the game, outside of your big moments, etc., etc. And that's why I like these things. It's because it's what this is. This is watching with your best friends. That's what this is. And that's why I enjoy doing these things. And so I can't thank you enough for tuning in and watching along with me. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Kelsey. Happy birthday to you. There you go. We were talking earlier about singing. There's my singing voice. Happy birthday, Kelsey. Appreciate you tuning in. Patricia says, Colorado's a beautiful state. Again, I went there for the first time back in September, and it was awesome. And I can't wait to go back. I really want to go back to watch the Coyotes play up there at Ball Arena and go see an Avalanche game there. Can't wait to go back. Really enjoyed my time in Colorado and Denver. Was there for a couple days. Again, yep. Happy birthday to Kelsey. Thanks for tuning in. Colorado is beautiful, super expensive though. Yeah, I can see that for sure. When I was looking at hotels to go there, I went there for a concert. I went to go see 21 Pilots. And we could not stay downtown Denver because it was so expensive. So we had to get our hotel like 40-minute drive away, which is kind of wild. Let's see what else we got going here. Jeff says, hey, you can sing. Ha! Well, I appreciate the compliment. I feel like that was more of like that really wasn't a singing. That was more like a talking with rhyme. That's the best way to do it right there. Uh-oh. Is Nazem Kadri hurt? That's not cool. Been having a good series so far. Repeat. That'd be wild if the Lightning can come back in the conference final and then end up winning 3 in a row. That'd be pretty dope. I know a lot of people. I'm curious. So, like, for those of you who aren't Lightning fans or aren't Avalanche fans, Rangers fans, Oilers fans, do you find these teams to be likable in a way that you'd be okay with them winning the Stanley Cup this year? Because I will say, I was kind of bummed. Like, I'm not a Maple Leafs fan, but I've come to appreciate their pain being a Suns fan, I guess. And so, like, I was hoping Toronto would actually make a stronger run than they did this year. But there are like a few teams in the league that like I do not want to win the Stanley Cup whatsoever. LA is one of them. Couple others. Winnipeg Jets. Nah, not a fan of them either. But like if any of these teams won the Stanley Cup this year, I think it'd be cool, right? Because you get the three-peat if Tampa wins. You would get Colorado probably being the most, outside of the Lightning, being the second most consistent team over the last several seasons, like certainly being up there in talent and just for whatever reason not putting it together in the playoffs. So I think it'd be cool if Colorado won. If Edmonton won, I'm cool with Edmonton winning because Connor McDavid won the Stanley Cup. And if the Rangers won the Stanley Cup, they haven't won in like 30 years. So I'm cool with that too. However, it kind of bumps me out that Henrik Lundqvist isn't a part of it this year. Like, that's the biggest bummer. Igor Shesterkin, great goaltender. But man, if the New York Rangers and the way they're playing, they'd put up a fight if they made it to the Stanley Cup final against Colorado. So that's the biggest bummer to me, is that if New York wins the Stanley Cup, Henrik Lundqvist would not win a Stanley Cup with that team. And that sucks, doesn't it? Because Henrik Lundqvist is truly, not only is he a future Hall of Famer, but like truly one of the good guys of the NHL in the last 25 years. Can't help root for him. He was on TNT, I think, last week, right? Continuing through the chat, thanks again for joining us, everybody. Ramon says, when I lived in Florida, I never heard of ice hockey. It was not part of Florida culture until much later. I'm glad you mentioned that. Ramon, because it's the same way here in Arizona. Same way. I was born in 1991. I'm 31 years old. When I was born, the only hockey that existed here in the state of Arizona was the Phoenix Roadrunners. And they are, or they were, a IHL team. And that's it. Also had club hockey here, right? Arizona State, U of A have had club hockey teams for decades. And that was about it. And then you had your youth hockey, et cetera, et cetera. But Coyotes came to town in 1996. And from there, things have kind of spitballed, and the sport is just continuing to grow and grow and grow here in the state of Arizona. And I think that's something that I think a lot of people who don't live here in Phoenix don't understand, is how much the sport is growing here. And you see that in the NHL. Austin Matthews would not be scoring 60 goals in the NHL if it weren't for the Arizona Coyotes, the Phoenix Coyotes back in the day. Plain and simple. He played hockey because the Coyotes existed. A couple other draft picks now you're seeing coming out of the state of Arizona. You're seeing the growth of the women's game here in Arizona to the point where USA Hockey just had their nationals a couple weeks ago, and there were 3 women's teams, 3 girls teams that made it to the finals. Unfortunately, none of them brought back gold medals and none of them won. But now they're making the jump to the highest level of girls hockey in terms of USA Hockey is concerned. You're seeing more ranks built here. You're seeing Arizona State be an NCAA Division I hockey team, which when I was in school, I thought it was crazy. I covered ASU's club team when I was in school there back in 2013, 2014. They won the ACHA championship my junior year. Period 2 getting underway here in Edmonton as Colorado leads 1-0. And so my point being, and I'll wrap this up, I can continue and wax poetically about the state of Arizona hockey for a long time. But on every level, hockey is growing in the state of Arizona to where it's starting to become a thing. And if the city of Tempe approves the new Coyotes Arena, that's going to take the next leap. And hockey's really going to be the next big thing here in the state, because I think the Coyotes in that time, in the next 3 to 4 years, they're going to start contending for playoffs. They're going to start really building a team that people will want to come see. So I think that's a great parallel between Florida and Arizona in terms of how they built their hockey, right? Because it took Tampa 20 plus years to win a Stanley Cup, right? And they got done, and now they're selling the place out. Florida selling the place out, right? Christian weighing in here saying that my first favorite hockey team is the Vegas Golden Knights, and my second team is the Colorado Avalanche. It's got a couple Vegas Golden Knights fans chiming in here tonight. So Christian, obviously rooting for the Avalanche here this evening to make it to the Stanley Cup final. Jeff here saying that we bought our home in Lakewood, Colorado, right? For $30,000 in 79 in 2022 is on the market for $870K. That's nuts, man. That is nuts. Way too much. Going back to our earlier conversation about Nazem Kadri, he's out. And you're right, Evander Kane got suspended. Don't even get me started, Evander Kane. Nah, not a big fan. Not a big fan. Shen says, God, I hope you get your pizza, but you have no idea of the series. Well, again, I'm a Coyotes fan, man. I'm a Coyotes fan. Patricia says, Golden Knights are cool. Have friends there. I don't know why people were so excited about the Golden Knights missing the playoffs. Like, they've quickly become one of the most hated teams in the league, haven't they? It's kind of crazy. As a Coyotes fan, I can tell you I'm not the biggest fan of theirs either. Let's see what we got. Shannon says, still rooting for you. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you, Shannon. Ramon says, born in 1963, my only team is the Blues. I don't, being a neutral observer. So you've been a fan for a long time. So congratulations to you, Ramon. I'm sure, I can't even imagine what you felt like when the Blues won the Stanley Cup a couple years ago. And having 50 plus years of history, and you finally hoist that Stanley Cup. That's awesome. That's awesome. As somebody who, here in the state of Arizona, among the 4 professional sports franchises here, Coyotes, Diamondbacks, Suns, Cardinals, 1 professional sports championship, Arizona Diamondbacks 2001. And that's it. That's it. Jeff says, we just had a reunion. Steve Finley was there. Yeah, going back to our earlier conversation about Steve Finley. That's awesome, man. Like I said, I love Steve Finley. He's such a good dude. Shows up once in a while for Diamondbacks events. And yeah, he was a fan favorite here when he played for the Diamondbacks. You're saying, remember, Arizona has a lot of golf courses and palm trees. I wouldn't say a lot of palm trees. That's not what we're known for. We're known for our cacti. Is what we're known for. Golf courses and cacti. And being able to walk to the rink in shorts. Being able to walk to the rink in shorts. Let's see what else we got going on here. We got Bentley chiming in. Thanks for tuning in, Bentley. Appreciate you. Saying, let's go, Edmonton. Hey, they're still in this game. 17 and a half to go in the second period in Edmonton. Game 4 of the Western Conference Final. Colorado's taking the shots on goal, advantage 19-12 in this game. And how far have we come in this series that in the first game we saw 14 goals, and now we're looking at 1-0. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that wild? And this just goes to show you that this has been a pretty decent hockey game, I'd say, right? It's close. It's been hasn't been completely one-sided, I would say. Again, I'm kind of watching this out of the corner of my eye, so I haven't been like analyzing every single movement. But hey, 1-0 game. Not bad. Not bad, right? Still a lot of states with no big hockey team except Wisconsin, Indiana, Idaho, and Montana are examples. That's true. I think the biggest one is, well, I guess I was going to say Texas. I was going to say Houston. Houston is like one of the biggest cities with that one. I have a feeling Houston, at some point, might end up getting an expansion team. They're not getting the Coyotes. I will say that much. Bentley chiming in, saying my favorite teams are the Blues and Preds, and I'm sorry, but Arizona sucks. Now, why would you go and say that? What have we ever done to you? Have you been to Arizona? Come visit. It's quite nice out here. In the fall and the spring. Don't come now. For the love of God, don't come now. Like I said, 106 degrees Fahrenheit today, ladies and gentlemen. So, we got a little fisticuffs going on here. Not too much, I guess. Not too much. And no penalty. I thought maybe we were going to get a penalty there for some reason, but I guess not. Again, Arizona didn't do anything to you. University of Michigan has the biggest for football. Yes. How cool was that Winter Classic? I think that was a Winter Classic, right? That they played there at the Big House in Michigan. 100,000 people. That's incredible, man. That's crazy. Eli, thanks for hanging out with me tonight, man. I appreciate it. Here on the Hockey Podcast Network YouTube channel. Watching Colorado and Edmonton here in Game 4. The Western Conference Final. Colorado up 1-0 here in the second period. We have a lot of Blues fans here this evening. Awesome. Sorry you guys didn't make it a little bit further in the playoffs here, but got a lot of Blues representation. Just one time I want to do one of these shows, and I have somebody in the chat, and they show up and they say, hey, I'm from Arizona. I'm a Coyotes fan. Or even just out of state. Maybe you're not you have Arizona ties and you're still a fan of the Coyotes. That'd be cool. Billy says from Illinois. So yeah, come hang. Come out to Arizona. Are you a Cubs fan? Cubs fans travel well out here to Arizona. Come see the Cubs. Come see the Cubs in spring training when it's actually fairly nice out here. Let's see what else we got here. What else? My in-laws live in Glendale. I do too. Glendale, Arizona. I live right across the street from Gila River Arena. Play golf courses. Yeah, there's a lot of them out here. A lot of them out here. Let's see what else we got here. What else we got here? Here in the chat. Got Jason. Welcome, Jason, to the chat. Let's go, Avs. Appreciate you tuning in, man. I'm Richie, by the way. Nice to meet you. I host the Sporty with Corey and Richie show here on the Hockey Podcast Network. Talking about the Arizona Coyotes, as we previously discussed. If you're watching me right now, it is 1-0, or Colorado, sorry. 14 minutes to go in the second period. Edmonton does not have a shot on goal in the second period of play, which is kind of wild. And if you are watching along and you like what you're watching, and you're watching this emergency backup host, I wasn't originally supposed to host this show tonight. Isha was supposed to do it. He was unavailable tonight, so he's like, hey, Richie, you want to come in? You want to sub in? You want to be the emergency backup host tonight and do the watch along? I said, yeah, cool. I'll do it. So I appreciate you tuning in. If you're watching me, you can like the stream. You can subscribe to the channel. And if you really like what you're seeing, a couple of you have been so gracious enough to donate to the channel tonight. And if you want to donate, we are $5 away from paying for my dinner tonight, and I will let the chat choose what I'm eating. I will pull up DoorDash on my phone, and you can pick what I eat. But again, $5 more in donations to get me there. And a big thank you for me. So again, thanks for tuning in, Jason. What else we got here? Bentley hates the Cubs. Are you a baseball fan? Let me ask this, Bentley. Who are your other teams besides the Oilers? I'll ask it that way. Jeff saying, I'm also a Blues fan in St. Louis, had season tickets until they built the new digs, priced me out of the market. I can see that for sure. Caffinity chiming in here. Thanks for hanging out with me tonight. 8-0 streak. Betting, are you using DraftKings? Because if you are, hopefully you used the promo code THP when you signed up. Give you some free money. He says that his uncle would be rich if he wasn't betting $5. That's true. That's kind of my speed. Like I bet like $10 is like my basis. That's all I bet. I just do it for fun. That's about it. Jeff saying he hates I was born to hate the Cubs. Yeah, I'm not a Cubs fan either. Although it was really cool to when they won the World Series a couple of years ago. Shannon's asking for the shots on goal. And yeah, again, Edmonton does not have a shot on goal in the second period at last check, according to that TNT graphic they just put up. And if you're looking right there on the screen, it's 21-13 in favor of Colorado right now. Jesse Puljujarvi saw and Leon Draisaitl taking a puck to the man region there. That didn't look very fun. Cup check for Leon Draisaitl. Bentley likes the St. Louis Cardinals. I'm glad you brought them up. I hope you're enjoying Paul Goldschmidt. What a heater that guy's on, folks. It's the hockey stream, but you bring up the Cardinals. I'm going to talk about Paul Goldschmidt, probably the hottest player in Major League Baseball right now. Former Arizona Diamondback. Crushing it for the Cardinals. Crushing it. See what else we got here. Christian saying he's a Yankees fan. Oh, God. Oh, no. Don't get me started on the Yankees. Nope. Did you like that 2001 World Series? That's the only comeback I got. I know the Yankees have won 27 World Series, but at least the Diamondbacks won there. And there's a chance by Edmonton. Stopped by Pavel Francouz. If you're just joining us, is a net tonight for the Colorado Avalanche. If I'm not mistaken, that is indeed the first shot on goal for Edmonton in this period of play. Peter's saying, where is Andrew? Yeah, he's kind of left the chat. I think I scared him off. To be honest, we have a tie game, ladies and gentlemen. I'm delayed, so I have not seen the goal yet. So you're going to have to give me an opportunity to watch the goal. But yes, we have a goal. It is 1-1 as Edmonton has tied the game. What a pass from Leon Draisaitl. Draisaitl to Zach Hyman, wide open in front of Pavel Francouz, and he puts it in for an easy goal. It's 1-1. We have a tie game, ladies and gentlemen, in Edmonton. Zach Hyman from Leon Draisaitl. Game 4 of the Western Conference Final. I'm going to watch this again. What a pass. Where was the Colorado Avalanche defense there? Just Zach Hyman beating the Colorado blue line. Too easy. Getting in behind Cale Makar for an easy goal. What a play. What a play by the Oilers. I got this game tied up at 1. 12 minutes into the second period. We got a game, folks. This is going to get good. This is going to get good. Just tell your friends about the stream. You can watch along with me here on the Hockey Podcast Network YouTube channel. Darnell Nurse with the assist, as well as Leon Draisaitl. We got a penalty coming up and a little bit of a scrum. This is getting good, guys. This is getting good. Patricia's right. This is not over yet. That's kind of what I was saying back in the first period. If you remember, Patricia, I was kind of saying that. I was like, listen, if you're the Oilers and you're only down 1 goal, you're still in the game. You're not, and I kind of mentioned this earlier, which is like, they were hanging around. They weren't getting butt whooped by the Avalanche. As Landeskog takes a really nasty penalty. God, that was dangerous as hell. Lucky that's not more than just a minor, to be honest. Zach Cassian, luckily he didn't get hurt there, for goodness sake. My goodness. Cheesy bacon burger in dat mouth. That's maybe the best name of the night. Shout out to the Morty character, by the way, there. And it looks like the referees are debating what's going on here, what they're going to do with this. Again, Landeskog clearing the numbers of Zach Cassian with a cross check. And Zach Cassian went into the boards very awkwardly. Kind of hitting his shoulder and his head into the dasher boards. And the referees are talking about this, and I'm curious to see what we get here. I don't have the sound on here, so I'm not 100% sure what the call was, but looks like they're just going to get 2 minutes. Just a minor. Wow. That was close to being a double minor. And first of all, they called that holding. That was clearly either a cross check or a boarding. But the fact that that's only a 2-minute power play is kind of wild. Jack Eichel going back in here saying refs don't want the Avs to win this game. I would say the opposite based on that. The Avalanche got lucky that wasn't more, to be honest, because that was clearly a penalty. And now Edmonton's getting their third power play of the night. Got somebody chiming in. Lee hanging out with us. Thanks for hanging out with us tonight, Lee, on the Hockey Podcast Network. Let me introduce myself. My name is Richie Suave Flores. Thanks for hanging out with us. Edmonton's power play over 2 on the night. They got a little bit of momentum, though, after that Hyman goal. So let's see if they can get the lead in this game. After they went the first 5+ minutes of the period without getting a shot on goal. And then Zach Hyman gets the equalizer. So Edmonton on the power play. They got a minute left to go on their power play. Again, I'm watching on kind of like a little bit of a delayed stream, so I apologize. You'll see the score through Flash Score before I see it myself. 50 seconds left to go in the Edmonton power play. So I mentioned this earlier. I'm working my way through some White Claws this evening. That's what I'm drinking tonight. The White Claw Surf. This is like White Claw with like fancy flavors. I already got through the Pomelo one. Edmonton has had the puck in the offensive zone the entire shift here. Entire shift. And they haven't been able to capitalize. I don't think they even have a shot on goal on the power play as Colorado clears it down the ice there. But here's my second White Claw. It is the watermelon flavor. Not bad. Watermelon's pretty good. Thank you. I appreciate that. Actually, you know what's I go by Richie. Richie. Ricky's fine though. Ricky's totally fine. Dick also okay. Is that White Claw an alcoholic beverage? Yes, it is. It 100% is. It's a seltzer, so it's like a flavored. Like you can't taste the alcohol in it. Like I'm sure some of you have had it, some of you had not. If you haven't tried it, it's dangerous because it's 5%, doesn't taste like alcohol. Very good for a day in which it was triple digits here in the state of Arizona. So that's what I'm drinking tonight. Halfway through the second period of this game. Colorado Born says 44 in the Oilers needs to have punch. We're talking about Zach Cassian. I mean, Zach Cassian's had his issues in the league, right? But as far as that penalty goes, like I think Landeskog got away with one there. I think he should have. That was kind of a nasty check there. Let's see what else we got here. Patricia's saying, ever had oatmeal chocolate chip cookies? Of course. Absolutely delicious. Jeff saying he's never had it before. Again, I feel like it's one of those things that's like, it's very popular among the kids. Very popular among the kids. And like people my age and younger. Very popular among younger white women. That's what I should say. Younger white women. That's where it's at. Like the sorority girls and whatnot. But I dabble. I dabble in it too. It's good. TNT taking a break. Scores 1-1. Game 4 of the Western Conference Final. Ramon says never had a White Claw seen it around. Worth a try, at least like once in your life. Yeah, Zach Cassian, the one who put Landeskog in a chokehold when he was on the ice in pain. He was getting back at him for that check. That's what that was. Again, I said this, but as far as I'm concerned, what Landeskog did was dirty. Right in the numbers, right near the boards, could have injured him. And so for Zach Cassian to come back with a little chokehold, that's okay. It's like, dude, nah, that's not how you play. Jeff saying, didn't the Coyote hockey team have the great one in some form? I don't want to talk about that, folks. Wayne Gretzky is a kind of black mark name around these parts. He was the head coach of the Phoenix Coyotes for several seasons back in the day. It did not do well. Also part owner at one time too. So yes, he does have connections to the Coyotes. Most Coyotes fans don't like him. Just saying oatmeal, good for you. So I've heard. I used to eat oatmeal all the time when I was a kid. Don't really do it as much anymore. Luke chiming in. Thanks for hanging out, Luke. Appreciate you, man. Thanks for tuning in tonight, saying let's go Avs. Good game tonight. 1-1. Luke, how you feeling? Feeling all right? Managed to keep Edmonton off the scoreboard on their power play, going 0 for 3. Incredible penalty kill by the Avalanche just prior to this last TV timeout there, as Edmonton had the puck in their offensive zone pretty much the entire shift. Colorado's PK unit, according to TNT, I was watching the graphic, they all had 2-minute shifts. They were out there a long time. And they managed to kill off that power play. TNT showing a stat here with Connor McDavid. Again, he's got 30 points in 15 games in the playoffs. That is redonkulous. Redonkulous. We're back underway in the second period. Question for the chat. This just came to mind as I was talking about Connor McDavid there. Who do you think right now is the leader in the clubhouse for the Conn Smythe? Is it Igor Shesterkin? I think there's a good chance he's in the running. Is it Connor McDavid with his 30 points in 15 games? Is it Cale Makar? Is it Nazem Kadri, who's had a really nice postseason? Is it somebody else? Let me know in the chat. Good chance there by Colorado. Mike Smith making a save. That's not something I thought I'd say a lot tonight. Mike Smith making a save. Former Coyote. A lot of Coyotes fans have mixed feelings about Mike Smith. Did take the Coyotes to the Western Conference Final himself back in the day. So I do appreciate him for that. But man, is he kind of ridiculous to watch, isn't he? Let's see what else we got here. We got BC Hockey Podcast chiming in, saying, what a game so far. I agree, man. It's been interesting. It's been an interesting game. This is not what I expected at all in this game. To be 1-1 more than halfway through, did not expect that whatsoever. Mike Smith making 23 of 24 saves in this game. Edmonton going 0 for 3 on their power play. Cale Makar has this lone goal for Colorado. But yeah, it's been a good game. This is going to be a really good third period. This is going to be a really good rest of the game here. We haven't had a lot of overtime in these Stanley Cup playoffs. Will that be something if we got it here? Now, I will say this though. For the love of goodness, if I have to do 2 overtimes worth of show by myself, good luck with that, everybody. Good luck with that. Andrew is back. Let's go, Andrew. Welcome back, dude. You're always fun. Andrew, I appreciate you, man, always, because Andrew's a big-time supporter of the Hockey Podcast Network, but I remember the first time I did one of these live streams, Andrew and I had a really good back and forth about, I believe it was Austin Matthews, if I'm not mistaken. So I appreciate you, Andrew. Thanks for coming back in to the chat. Let's see what else we got going on here. Andrew, once again, saying, I want the Avs to win the Cup, not Edmonton. I agree. I want Darcy Kemper to win the Stanley Cup really bad. I'm a big Darcy Kemper fan. Although, Darcy, if you're just tuning into the show, if you're just tuning into the game, Darcy Kemper did not get the start tonight. He is dressed. He is backing up Pavel Francouz tonight. Backing up Pavel Francouz, who is in net for Colorado this evening. Let's see what else we got going on here. We got Donnell chiming in. Do you remember these kids' sports movies, The Mighty Ducks, Little Giants, Big Green, Sandlot? Hell yeah, dude. This is my childhood growing up. Those Mighty Ducks, those movies, to be honest, were my first introductions to hockey. Because again, growing up in Arizona, not a lot of hockey here. I grew up mostly a big basketball guy. So my connection was the Suns. I was a big Suns fan. So I did not grow up a big hockey guy. My connection to hockey when I was a kid was the Mighty Ducks. And I freaking love the Sandlot too as a big baseball fan. Maddie joining us tonight saying, what's up? Thanks for hanging out tonight, Maddie. We appreciate you joining us here this evening. And what we got ourselves, we got to guard ourselves a barn burner this evening. 1-1. About midway, a little bit past midway through the game. And yeah, thanks for joining us, man. I appreciate you tuning in. Everybody in the chat, appreciate you tuning in. Let's reset this bad boy here as TNT's on a commercial break. My name is Richie Suave Flores. I am the host of Sporty with Corey and Richie here on the Hockey Podcast Network. I cover the Arizona Coyotes alongside my co-host Corey, who is in the chat, maybe joining me here in just a bit. So if you want to hear Arizona Coyotes talk, listen to me. But for now, we're covering the Avalanche and Oilers. Brought to you, of course, all by our friends at DraftKings and DraftKings Sportsbook. You can use that promo code THPN. You see it at the bottom of the screen there. And you can sign up for a bunch of great deals on signing up. It's 1-1, everybody, in this game. Game 4, Western Conference Final. Colorado wins. They go to the Stanley Cup for the first time in over 20 years. Edmonton making a game of it, though. Making a game of it. It's 1-1 late in the second period of play here. You've been amazing, chat. I appreciate you so much. With 5.5 to go here in the second period. Again, if you're watching us, subscribe to the channel, like this stream. If you really like this, and if you really like me for whatever reason, you can also super chat me. You can donate to the channel. We are still $5 short of me being able to eat this evening. And I say that jokingly. But I promised earlier in the show, if we got to $20 worth of donations, I would let you guys choose what I'm eating tonight. And I would open up my DoorDash app and pick what's going on. So appreciate you tuning in, everybody. It is 6:40 here on the West Coast. It is 9:40 on the East Coast. Edmonton and Colorado. We have a barn burner on our hands tonight, folks. It's going to be a really good finish to this hockey game. So I appreciate you tuning in here this evening. Let's see what else we got here. Patricia kind of recapping what we got going on here tonight. And again, this is a good opportunity for some of the newbies here. Like, the way I'm approaching this stream tonight is, especially since it's just me and you guys, and you guys are my co-hosts this evening. We're at a bar, man. We're just chit-chatting about whatever comes to our mind, whatever you guys want to talk about, whatever randomly pops into my brain. I want to talk about while we're watching this game. I have this game on right to my right here, so I'm watching it out of the corner of my eye. And so that's how I'm approaching this. Is that we're just chit-chatting as if we're best friends, right? And so Patricia chimed in there, fast food, places to visit, golf, baseball, weather. Everything that's going on. Ramon saying his favorite hockey movie is Slapshot. Favorite hockey movie. Great chance there by Edmonton. Looks like we're going to get a stoppage in play here as well. And a power play, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe. I think. My favorite hockey movie, I'm a big fan of Goon. I love Goon. Oh, and if you're watching here tonight and you have a chance to watch it, there's a new show out on Hulu here in the United States. Don't know where it is elsewhere. It's called Shoresy. It's a spinoff of another show. And if you're a hockey fan, this show's amazing. It's truly just hilarity from start to finish. So go check it out. It's called Shoresy. Called Shoresy, everybody. Let's see what else we got here. It's my co-host, Corey. I'm saying killing it. Thank you, Corey. I appreciate you. I think Corey might join me for the third period of this game. Corey, if you're still watching me, I'm going to text you right now the link to this, so that way you can join if you so please. Because I've been doing this on my own for almost 2 hours, which is quite impressive, to be honest. Again, as somebody who has Ryan Nugent Hopkins gives Edmonton a 2-1 lead on a breakaway with 3 minutes to go in the second period. And Rogers Center, Rogers Place, whatever it's called in Edmonton, is popping off. Bad turnover by the Colorado Avalanche on their own blue line, and Nugent Hopkins goes backhand top shelf to give the Oilers the lead and give them some life in this series. This is getting good, folks. Just over the pad of Pavel Francouz, and the Avalanche are leading this game. The Oilers are leading this game. My bad. I'm so used to saying that the Avalanche are leading this game, but the Oilers have life, ladies and gentlemen. 2-1. 2-1. Thank you, Andrew. It is Rogers Place. There's too many Rogers going around here. Too many Rogers. The Oilers are buzzing. They are buzzing, folks. I can't even imagine. I don't have the audio on my TV, so I can't hear how loud that place is right now, but I have to imagine it's popping off right now. It's got to be absolutely popping off. I did not expect this. Whatsoever. I know a couple of you were kind of chiming in before the game with some of your predictions. I said this before the game. I did not think the Oilers had a chance. I thought they were done. I thought they were cooked in this game, in this series. They were cooked in this game. But now they have a lead, 2-1. But here's my question for you. Do you trust Mike Smith with a 1-goal lead heading into the third period? I do not. I absolutely do not trust Mike Smith in this hockey game. So this game's far from over, ladies and gentlemen. Far from over. Colorado does lead the Oilers 24-17 in shots on goal for what it's worth. And yeah, we got a great game on our hands here heading into the third period. That's for sure. Shannon saying Ted Nugent Hopkins. Ted Nugent Hopkins. Is this the third line Oilers? Ramon saying I think of Ted Nugent whenever I hear Hopkins, Shannon. That's right. That's so funny. That's not the first thing I think of. Going old school with the Ted Nugent references here tonight, folks. Jeff saying the same thing, always thinking of Ted Nugent. Cat scratch fever. Cat Scratch. Fever. Edmonton is going to be getting another power play in this game as we get a puck over the glass. We're going to get a delay of game here late in the second period to give Edmonton their fourth power play of this hockey game. Right now, they are 0-for-3 this evening on the power play as they lead 2-1 here late in the second period. Going to the box a lot, Colorado. Especially in the second period. I think this is their second time on the PK here in this period. Not good if you're the Avalanche putting out your PK all the time, though. Let's see what else we got here. What else we got in the chat? Wango Tango. That's a name right there. It's 3-1 Oilers, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, again, I'm delayed, so I haven't seen the goal. So I'm going to watch the goal here momentarily. I'm delayed. This is crazy. I'm really delayed on this. I'm really delayed. This will be the third unanswered goal from the Oilers. This will be the first power play goal of the game. Oh my God, what a shot. Unbelievable. Holy cow. Connor McDavid. It's the best player in the world, ladies and gentlemen. Just getting sick of it and be like, screw this. I'm going to win us this hockey game. And now the Oilers have a 2-goal lead. Leon Draisaitl with the assist. Beautiful shot from the face-off dot. Beating Pavel Francouz on the glove side. Not a screen to be found. What a goal. What a period for Edmonton. And if you're just joining us, Edmonton started out this second period, about the first 4 to 5 minutes of the period without a shot on goal, and now they have 3 goals. Which, this brings the question, ladies and gentlemen, of the chat. If you're watching us here on the Hockey Podcast Network YouTube stream, do we start to question Jared Bednar now? Why he started Francouz over Kemper? You know that's the first question he's going to get asked in the post-game press conference. And we brought this up a little bit earlier on the stream. But that's 3 goals on 19 shots. Francouz has had a good series to this point, right? Had the shutout. Gave up 2 goals in the last game. But you have a chance to go to the Stanley Cup final. And you got to this point because of Darcy Kemper. And he's sitting on the bench tonight. Wild. Wild to me that that's the case as we wind down the second period here. Rogers Place going crazy as they should. 3 unanswered goals from the Oilers in the second period. It's 3-1 Edmonton after 2 periods of play. As Edmonton looks to extend this series into a game 5. What a performance. You're seeing the stars shine tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Leon Draisaitl, Connor McDavid, Cale Makar. This is everything we wanted when we first got word that we were going to get this in the Western Conference Final, right? How good has this been? Like I was kind of saying earlier, I'm glad that the Oilers are doing this because I want to see more of this series. I want to see more of this series. Andrew's saying, I know Edmonton will come back. You know, you get like if you're the Oilers and you do win this game, maybe you start to feel that way. Maybe you start to feel that like we can hang with these guys. We can beat them. And get this later on in the series. But again, I don't trust Mike Smith. I don't trust Mike Smith in this game whatsoever. And I got a couple, 3-1. Holy moly. I'm shocked, man. I am absolutely shocked at what we're seeing tonight from the Oilers and from the Avalanche. What a game it's been. I see my co-host in the chat, ladies and gentlemen. Corey's here. She's getting ready to go. This is a good time for me to take a break, catch my breath a little bit, get everybody in the chat to kind of catch their breath. And it was been kind of a wild game to this point to see Edmonton come back from 1 goal down to take the lead in this game 3-1. I'm going to go get myself some water. I'm going to go save my vocal cords more. Again, my vocal cords were already trash after going to a concert earlier this week, but I digress. We're going to take a little break. We'll come back in just a moment here on the Hockey Podcast Network YouTube stream. And we're continuing to talk about this game. I'll be joined by Corey Crenshaw on the other side. Thanks for hanging out with me tonight on the Hockey Podcast Network, everybody.
All right, team, time to bet NFL games. Confidence.
I'm feeling a parlay with more legs than a spider.
So 9 legs?
Roll the dice, baby.
Indecision?
We picked one home favorite. I abstain.
You can't abstain.
Boring. 6-leg parlay, 2 home dogs, all hitting the over. Boom!
Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and feel the NFL action like never before.
Welcome back, everybody, on the Hockey Podcast Network YouTube page. Richie Suave Flores hanging out with you here this evening. Excuse me. Do this by yourself long enough, you get parched, everybody. So you hydrate. That's if you take anything away from this stream this evening, ladies and gentlemen, take away 2 things. Number 1, the Coyotes aren't going anywhere. Number 2, stay hydrated. Very important to stay hydrated. Oilers lead this game 3-1 after 2 periods of play. They get 3 unanswered goals in the second period. And to take the lead here in Game 4 of the Western Conference Final. DraftKings promo code THPN if you're watching us. Thank you so much for hanging out with me tonight. And I'm very glad to say that I have somebody here with me that is going to help me out the rest of the way. Thankfully, because 2 hours talking by yourself, it's hard to do. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, I would like to welcome to the show my co-host, my best friend, Corey Crenshaw is joining me this evening. Corey, hello. Welcome to the stream. Thank you for bailing me out for the last hour or so of the stream, so that way the people of the chat do not have to listen to my voice alone for the next hour.
Yes, I'm glad to be on with you. Sorry I'm late, everybody. Life and day jobs and whatnot always, getting in the way. But I'm glad to be here at least by the third period and to see Mike Smith blow yet another possible win for the Oilers. Am I calling it right now? Yes, because of the fact that I still have haunted dreams and memories of Mike Smith here in Phoenix.
Yeah, I was talking about that earlier. I was trying to explain to people that we have great memories of Mike Smith because he did take the Coyotes to the Western Conference Final, but we also have terrible memories of Mike Smith with the Arizona Coyotes. And Corey's, I could really care less about Mike Smith. I don't really hate him, love him, whatever, either way. Corey, not a fan of Mike Smith whatsoever. So
I will admit it. I will admit that, a couple weeks ago, as Richie well knows, because he was my bridesman in my wedding, I had gotten married, and obviously one of our guests is Canadian and is a Flames fan, so he was watching, and he during that game he started getting very angry about Mike Smith, and we went into a very deep conversation of which I was very drunk in, and started complaining about Mike Smith. And I think it's just genuinely because of the fact that I have had to sit through so many games of watching him do the same thing over and over and over again. And even if he does do okay, he still gives you a heart attack in the process.
That's kind of what I've been saying all game here is the Oilers made their surge in the second period. Is that when they had that 2-1 lead, it was like, that's not enough. Not with Mike Smith in goal. No, but you got that 2-goal lead, you're feeling a little bit better about yourself. Even with Mike Smith in net headed in the third period. All right, let's catch up on the chat, Corey. We have some chat to catch up on here. Let's see what we got. Here we are. We have here's Ramon chiming in saying hello, Corey.
Hello.
Shannon chiming in asking for the shots on goal. Corey to flash score the shots on goal 25-20 in favor of the Colorado Avalanche. Sean weighing in saying Mike Bum. Ain't that the truth? Ain't that the truth? Corey, before you joined me, I was saying very, very early on in this game that if I was Connor McDavid, I'd almost want out of Edmonton with how they built the roster. Because if they had any lick of freaking goaltending on this team, they'd probably be the Stanley Cup favorites. But because they have Mike Smith in net, that's not the case. And I was explaining that they had the chance to get Darcy Kemper in the offseason, and they intentionally chose not to go after him, and instead they stuck with Mike Smith. And I think they're regretting that right now, as Darcy Kemper has... Go ahead.
We were correct, although I would like to point out one thing about Darcy Kemper, is we were correct on our show. We had said that if Colorado had gotten Darcy Kemper the playoffs before they actually did, they would have done better in the playoffs, and we're seeing that now.
Exactly. I think case in point is tonight. I brought that up at the end of the second period too, which is if Darcy Kemper was in net tonight, maybe you have a different outcome. Because they're playing their backup goaltender in a game that could get them to the Stanley Cup final. And Darcy Kemper's on the bench right now, dressed. And I was saying that that's the first question that Jared Bednar is going to get asked after the game is why didn't you play your starting goaltender?
Do we know how he's feeling though? Does he feel 100%?
That's a great question. I don't know. I haven't because it was like a very, very game time decision on who was going to start.
The thing you have to weigh in that is if your starting goaltender isn't feeling 100%, won't play 100%, and you think that your healthy backup is going to be about the same percentage as him, then I can understand that decision and the fact that you never know how long this game can go on. If it goes into overtime, like, what do you do in that situation? Would you rather have a healthy goaltender that could be able to hold up in that situation? That could have been what he weighed in it as well. So there is that part of it. I would have personally always kind of gone with Kemper, but again, we don't ever really know for sure how a player is feeling unless we're there and asking the player themselves.
Chat brings up a good point, which I had kind of forgotten about, to be honest, because everything just flies by at this point, which is Sean saying that Darcy has bad vision. So I think they're skeptical about putting him out there. That's right, because if you remember, he took a stick to his face, like into his eye, earlier in the playoffs. And I don't know if he's necessarily been able to completely and fully recover from that. So I think that's a really, really good point at this point in the playoffs. What I meant by
how is he feeling? Is he feeling 100%? Because if he's not feeling 100% after that, then he could. Then it evens out at some point. If you feel like I would rather have a goaltender that I know has the consistency and has the longevity in this game, if Darcy Kemper isn't feeling 100%.
And we never found out what it was that happened to him back in game number 2 that caused him to leave the game, other than it was just an upper body injury, and that was it. Shannon brings up a good point that the Avs have been way better with Frankie. Maybe. I guess you could probably argue that in this series, right? Francouz had the shutout earlier in this series, at least. Had only gave up 2 goals, and then Darcy gave up a bunch of goals earlier on in the series too, back in game 1. So yeah, this is why we're not coaches, folks. This is why we leave that up to Jared Bednar to figure out who is going to start and who isn't. Donnell, yes, I told you that Corey may or may not be joining us tonight. So there you go. Donnell, big fan of yours, Corey.
Thank you. I'm around. I just wasn't here for a little while. I try not to leave Richie by himself for too long. Today just happened to be a while. But when you listen to Sporty, both of us are there on a normal basis.
This is true. Yeah, if you want to hear from both of us, you can go listen to our show. And then you can get both of us all the time, as opposed to tonight. Yeah, I don't know. Again, I think this is just I don't even know. Like I got the text or the message from Isha like an hour and a half before the show and was like, "Hey, do you want to do the show tonight?" I was like, "All right, well, what do I got going on tonight?" Nothing. So, well, might as well do this and hang out with everybody.
You have been killing it as always, Richie. You seem to do so much better than any person that I have ever known that can do a solo. You're just a great talker.
Yeah, I could see that. I can see that for sure. It helps when the chat's popping off. Like the chat is popping off tonight, popping off, and that's always a lot easier because, like I was explaining earlier, that's like when it was just me. It's like the chat is basically my co-host along the way, and like this was my first time doing it by myself for most of the time, and it's tough. It's not easy. It's not easy on your voice. It's not easy to figure out what the hell to talk about. Luckily, the game's been good tonight, so it gives us something to talk about. But other than that, yeah, I'm very happy that you're able to join me for the third period because it's that way. First of all, it gives me a break from my voice. Like I said, because I was at a concert, Corey, as you know, on Saturday night, and it was one of my favorite artists. It was Andy Grammer, and so he's one of those artists that I know every single lyric from every single song. So I was going hard. I was going super hard. So I damn near lost my voice on Saturday night. So the fact that I'm back here on this show talking for 2 straight hours by myself, I cannot thank you enough for hopping on here with me tonight and spending your evening with me.
Hey, I respect the fact that that you're even doing this after screaming at a concert, only 2 days ago. The only thing that I am disappointed about, though, is the fact that you didn't climb up a tree to get tickets. You just bought them the old-fashioned way.
This is true. This is true. I'll do this story quickly, and then we'll go back to the chat. So, Andy Grammer, who I saw, he does these things often at his shows where he'll do ticket drops. And so he'll post on Instagram and be like, hey, I got 2 tickets and a meet and greet for tonight's show. I'm going to go drop these tickets such and such a place. And he puts it up on Instagram. He's like, you got to go find these tickets. And because the show was sold out on Saturday night, he was like, I'm going to make this super hard on you. And I'm going to climb up into this tree and tape these tickets into this tree for you in order to get the tickets and the meet and greet passes. I already had tickets. So I was like, I don't need to climb into a tree. But if I didn't have tickets, you know damn well I'd be climbing up in that tree.
I would have been videotaping you climbing in that tree, 100%.
Yeah, because I mean that's what I do. See my favorite band. I will gladly climb trees to go see my favorite band. I have 2 more. I have 2 more concerts coming up next month as well, back-to-back nights of all things. Don't think I'll be climbing trees for either of those either. But let's get back to the chat here. Donnell asking if she saw the video of the Coyotes Arena in Tempe and the surrounding areas. Looks nice. I commented on this earlier, so now you get your chance to respond as well.
I loved it. I thought that entire presentation was really good. They thought it through very well. The entire video kind of proposing what it's going to look like and everything. What caught me a little bit by surprise, and it's funny because it dives into kind of what we're watching here, and the fact that, like, if you've ever been to an Avs game in Colorado, they have a really massive screen to the point where you can almost not even watch the ice. You could watch it just off their massive screen if you wanted to. And the one that they were proposing for the Coyotes Arena in Tempe Entertainment District literally has a screen on the roof of the entire arena. I think it's going to honestly be unlike any arena that you have ever seen if they get to that point. It's just getting to that point, but it's going to be phenomenal. It'll turn into a full-blown mecca. And they are also promising, oh, there's a goal. Remember when I said that there's a way for Mike Smith to lose this game? Richie, you're on mute.
Oops. Mike Smith, ladies and gentlemen. I want to see this replay. Again, I'm on a little bit of a delay. I don't know about what Corey's stream is, but okay, that really wasn't too much of Mike Smith's fault because that was
not his fault. That was
that went off his Cody Cece in front there. Yeah, that's just bad luck. Oh, he almost had it too with his glove. Ooh, tough break, but it's a 1-goal game, 19 and a half to go in the third period. This game's getting good, man. This is good. This has been a good hockey game. I like this. I'm glad, Corey, you picked a good game to do this because the only other times Corey and I have done this, we've done them during Coyotes games. So this is the first time we're doing this for teams we are not fans of. We don't watch very often. And so I'm glad that when we are doing the show, Corey, we actually get a good game to talk about because that gives us something to talk about more so than just yapping for on end.
Yeah, I mean, I had picked Colorado to go all the way this year from the beginning. So I definitely feel like here comes the Oilers choke. Yeah, it's kind of in the nature of all of this, honestly. Hi, Lauren. But yeah, no, it's yeah. If it comes to, obviously that last one we're not blaming on Mike Smith, but if it comes to Mike Smith, just wait for it. Wait for it. He'll come slowly but surely. But back to Ted. The thing is, I think that entire entertainment district in general is going to just be unlike anything that we've ever seen, really. And they were promised a draft and an all-star if all of this goes through and the Coyotes can't move for 30 years. Sorry, all you Quebec people.
ain't that the truth? Ain't that the truth? So I want to bring up this comment again because we talked about it earlier in the stream before you were able to join us, Corey. Where did it go? Anyway, Shannon was explaining how a lot of times she only drinks warm beverages because she likes to sing. And I was like, I'm not going to sing on this stream tonight. I ended up singing "Happy Birthday" to one of our listeners, and so that's why Shannon's commenting for you to sing. Here she says that you look like or she says she's an alto, so she can do it. I will say, Corey, probably a much better singer than I am. 100%, absolutely.
I am an alto, and yes, I did used to sing. And no, I am not going to sing on this broadcast.
Yeah, don't sing.
I did used to sing, and I am an alto. You are correct.
Andrew saying sweep time. God, that would be so good. That would be so much fun because it would be Mike Smith would be fired into the sun, ladies and gentlemen. If Edmonton blows this game, Mike Smith is going to be fired into the sun. It would be absolutely beautiful. Donnell saying here, Corey, since you said Quebec, you kind of forgot Houston. The Houston people aren't as loud as the Quebec people.
Houston. Yeah, that's exactly it. I don't even acknowledge it at this point because it's annoying, but it's not to the point where it's obnoxious. Like, it's just kind of like, it's like a little nuisance. You can kind of swat it away like a fly. The Quebec people are just, they're insatiable. Nothing will ever get them to be like, okay, we're going to leave this alone. It's every single day with them.
Ain't that the truth? Shannon, sorry, I misgendered you there. Yeah, I should have known better. Shannon is a guy. So my bad. My apologies. Sean chiming in here.
Me, I have been Corey the guy most of my life. Most people do not assume, even with the eye, that I'm a female. I totally know the feeling.
Sean chiming in here saying about Bruce Cassidy being fired. Talked about that a little bit earlier on the stream. Dumb decision. Dumb decision, in my opinion. I don't understand why you do that, but probably going to end up in Vegas.
I do think it's really funny because, you have a playoff. The Bruins have been a playoff type team for a long time. They're going to be hitting like a point. I think all Boston teams really are going to be hitting this kind of like downward slope that they're all getting on because everyone's kind of gotten older and they're losing all of their kind of like star people across the board. But it's kind of interesting because you can have a team like that is making the playoffs, is doing well, is doing those type of things, and you still have like a coach that gets fired. And yet here in Arizona, you could have a coach for seasons on end that won't even get you close to the playoffs and they stay for a while. The one that I actually really liked was Rick Tocchet, and the fact that he couldn't find another place to go after that. And you see him here on this broadcast now is kind of crazy to me. But yeah, it threw me for a loop today. I wasn't really expecting that.
Bruce Cassidy was in the Stanley Cup final, 4 years ago with the Boston Bruins? insane to me that you would fire a coach who literally got you to the Stanley Cup final like several years ago. But I digress. Let's move on here. Donnell, I agree with you on this because I thought the same thing. I didn't bring this up on our podcast, Corey, when we were talking about everything. But I thought the same thing because I've been to SoFi Stadium. I was there last year to go see the Rams play. In case you didn't know, if you're just tuning in, this may shock you. But I am indeed a Los Angeles Rams fan. Oh? Okay, we have a goal.
Too. Ho, ho, ho.
Oilers have scored. I'm a bit behind again, so bear with us. Oh, what a play. What a play.
Oh,
what a play.
Fight after it, too.
Oh, hey, we're getting juicy. We are getting juicy tonight. Found Shushkin getting into it with the Oilers here. I'm going to look this up for just a second. So that goal was scored by, let's see who it was scored by here. But Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl had the assists on that goal. Leon Draisaitl, Zach Hyman was the goal scorer. Maple Leafs fan, sorry. But if I'm not mistaken, Leon Draisaitl, I think has scored or has assisted on all four goals tonight, but I could be wrong. Let me look it up here. Oh, wait a minute. What the hell? That's the wrong game. Let's see what we got here. Corey, this is the 2 stars coming out for Edmonton tonight when they most needed it. Because Leon Draisaitl and Connor McDavid have played like the 2 best players in the NHL tonight. That's for damn sure. And let's see, looking it up here, Leon Draisaitl's got 3 points tonight already. Connor McDavid has 2.
It will show you though how having players like those 2 can essentially carry a team though. It shows how having a couple star players on your team can be the difference maker. Because if you really think about it, the Oilers are good, but they're not competing with the Avs good. They're only in this position where they're at because of Draisaitl and McDavid. Yeah,
100%. And it kind of goes back to kind of the theme of our show tonight, which is that the Oilers as an organization just fascinate me, that they can have the talent of Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl and still in a way, like I said, kind of waste it in a way because of Mike Smith. But I can go on for that. Again, we've gone on for that pretty much all show long, but this is how Edmonton gets back in this series, man, is literally just let Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl do everything in their power. And that's what they're doing here tonight. What a big goal. 1-goal game. Colorado scores less than, a minute or so into the third period to make this a 1-goal game. And then your 2 big players step up, and Zach Hyman scores that goal. Great passing from Draisaitl and McDavid, too. And Pavel Francouz, 4 goals on 24 shots, ladies and gentlemen. 4 goals on 24 shots tonight, the backup goaltender, as we were talking about a little bit earlier. But yeah, I want to go back to talking about the video board from the Coyotes Arena possibility. And you're right. I went to SoFi Stadium last season, and you're 100% correct. The video board at SoFi Stadium is incredible. It's really, really dope. And for those of you that don't know, it wraps around the entire stadium. And it's an inside and outside video board. So it's not just like an overhang video board that you see at most places. It's a full 360 video board, and it's got screens on the inside and the outside. So no matter where you're sitting, you can see this thing, and it's incredible. That's kind of what the Coyotes have going on at their new rink too, as well, allegedly. Let's go back through the chat here. Got a bunch of these here. Oh my, we have so many. We have so many to get through. A lot of people talking about the goal. Yeah, Donnell, that's what I was kind of just talking about Sorry, I almost forgot about it. But yeah, I love SoFi Stadium. It was awesome. I can't wait to go back there, just for the record. And somebody was chiming in here too. I think it was Ramon. Sorry, I'm sorry, dude. I know, like, Ramon and I were getting along just fine for pretty much the entire stream. And then because Corey, Ramon, St. Louis guy. So I think you can understand.
Wait. The question is, did he become an X fan when they moved? Is that when he cut it off?
I would assume so. Because from what I understand, our buddy Tom, who used to host the Blues podcast on this very network, he was the same way. Rams fan, and then Stan Kroenke bought the team, and basically told St. Louis to go F themselves, and he packed up the team and went to LA. So I can't imagine very many St. Louis people are Rams fans, and that's totally okay. I feel awful, in fact, for most St. Louis fans. They lost the team, and I would say I relate to them. Corey and I can relate to a lot of you because we have a team who has been rumored to move for over a decade now. And so, like, to try and understand that pain of losing a team, we kind of understand where you're coming from there. And yeah, he can answer your question. He became an X fan when they moved to LA. No animosity to LA fans, so, which I appreciate. I appreciate that.
Except for the Kings. We always have animosity to the
yes, the Kings, absolutely. And I will say this, Ramon, too, like, I became a Rams fan over 20 years ago. I jumped on the bandwagon and became a Rams fan back in the greatest show on turf era. Because the Cardinals, Arizona Cardinals, hometown team, terrible. Bad ownership, bad organization. Couldn't even watch them on TV because they were blacked out every week because nobody went to games when I was a kid. Played at ASU, Sun Devil Stadium, for years and years before they got their new stadium right across the street from me here. And so I've been a St. Louis Rams fan ever since the greatest show on turf for well over 20 years. In fact, I have proof of this. So while I get my proof, Corey, I'm gonna let you answer this question here, which is, can the Avs score 2 goals in 12 minutes?
Yes, I definitely think that is a great possibility. I mean, this Avalanche team is good, really, really good, in the fact that they have very meticulously built this team over time, and they have the capacity to do that 100% just on their own merit. When it comes to what we've said before, and the fact of Mike Smith, they could score 2 goals very quickly, and the fact that Mike Smith could, go 90 yards away from his net just for the fun of it, and that could just be 1 goal alone. So you never really know with him. I think that is completely possible for them to do that, even if they had much less than 12 minutes.
I agree. This game's not over. Colorado can absolutely 100% tie this game up. But I think we've seen it before where they've kind of come back late in games. But just real quickly before we move on, because we're getting a lot of comments here, I'm going to prove to you that I've been a long time Rams fan. Here is a Mark Bolger jersey. All right. And former number 1 overall pick, Sam Bradford. I also have his jersey too, for the love of goodness, which I bought. Actually, my parents bought for me. My parents bought for me after he was drafted. Number 1 overall. Oops, that didn't go well. But I digress. We got a great question from Donnell here, and we are more than happy to answer the question, asking about which team in Arizona is the most popular, the Coyotes, Cardinals, Suns, or Diamondbacks? This is a great question because I would argue it changes on a consistent basis because it depends on who's good at the time, right?
They're a bunch of bandwagon fans. I zipped up my jacket to show I am wearing a D-backs jacket. But if you go back to 2001, Diamondbacks. if you were to go to any time when the Cardinals have made a good run, or kind of when anyone's really bored with teams, I think the default is always the Cardinals. Currently, it is the Phoenix Suns, which is still like the only team too that also goes by Phoenix. So yeah, it would be the Suns at this current moment, but there have been waves of each of them. Believe me if you want to, but when the Coyotes came to the Valley, they were actually very popular. And
we have a goal. Sorry to cut you off. We were just talking about this. Here, the comeback is on, ladies and gentlemen. The comeback is on. It is 4-3. And
it started. And it started with what? Where did they try to send the puck on Mike Smith? Someone tell me this, and I will say this until the day I die. The man cannot close his legs to save him.
That's a deep cut joke right there, ladies and gentlemen, if you know Mike Smith at all. But that's true. He had two of his defensemen trying to help him out there, and he still failed to save that puck. And so I don't know who's going to get ultimate credit for this. Val Nichushkin, Landeskog, McKinnon were all in on the goal there. But, Mike Smith not happy. Probably going to blame his offense. If deep cut, folks, when he left the Coyotes, Mike Smith was just like, I'm so happy. I'm going to a team that can actually score goals. Anyway. But yeah, as we were just talking about, just moments ago when we were asked if the Avalanche can get back in this game, that's what they're doing. And I feel like now, Corey, like they now have that momentum now to where they have a chance. And to be honest, like I think now I'm starting to get the feeling now, like I kind of want to see overtime now. Earlier I was like, please don't go to overtime. I don't want to do overtime by myself. So I'm glad you're here. But like this has all the feelings of overtime.
The only thing though is they still have 9 minutes and 54 seconds left. There is a possibility that Colorado will come back and just flat out win this game. They have the amount of time for that.
Oh, absolutely, 100%. They are out shooting Edmonton right now, 34-25. So they have the shots on goal advantage, despite Edmonton having 4 power plays in this game, which is kind of wild to me too. But yeah, this game's going to get really good really quickly. Edmonton wanted a penalty there. I don't think they got it. And yeah, it's 4-3 late in this hockey game. This is going to be a really, really great finish of this game. Donnell saying, Corey, Mike Smith is not a good goaltender. We know this. We've known this for years. Shannon saying, Broom, a lot of you calling for sweeps tonight. It could still happen. It is not over, folks. It is not over. I don't know if this is the game of the postseason. We've seen some wild, wild games. Corey, do you remember that game? It was Edmonton and Calgary when you and I and a bunch of our friends were at a bar on that Wednesday night prior to your wedding, and like you and I were like kept looking up at the TV, and the game was like 9-6, and then it was like 9-7.
Yeah, no, because we made 69 jokes at the time. I do remember that. Yes. I looked, and it was funny. I'd had a few drinks that night, and I literally put my hand on Richie, and I go, "Am I looking at that correct? Does that score say what I think it says? Are we watching hockey right now?" Because it just blew me away, and the fact that was actually the score of that game, that killed me. And two, by the time we had gone from the restaurant we were at to that bar, I had looked at that game when we had just gotten to that bar, and it was maybe an hour later, and that's how much it had escalated. And I was like, oh no, This isn't good. So that was intense. Between that and me complaining about why anyone would put their faith in Mike Smith while I was drunk at my wedding.
Shannon's asking what rhymes with 69. Nice. I don't know. Please tell us, Shannon. What is it? This is going to be a great joke. This joke better be good because I have not heard this joke before. You better pay this off, Shannon. If it's not good, I don't know what. I don't know. We'll be deeply disappointed in you, Shannon. We will be deeply disappointed in you. Yeah, I don't know. I really do think Colorado's gonna win this hockey game, man. I really do. We've seen it before. We've seen it with. There are just certain teams in the league that just like when they have good things happen to them, things go wayward very quickly. And Edmonton's one of those teams. Toronto's one of those teams too. And so if Edmonton blows this game, it would not surprise me one more time. Jeff is asking how much time is left. There is about TNT does not have their score bug up at the moment, so that's awesome. Thank you. 8:58 left to go in the third period. So that's plenty of time for this Avalanche team to get back in the game. Shannon, yeah, what rhymes with 69? Tell us, damn it.
What?
Oh,
what if we get a shorty right here from Colorado?
The poor Edmonton fans. If Colorado scores and they make this game 4-4, Mike Smith needs to be yanked immediately.
You have to. I propose to you a question. So, as a Flames fan, would you be disappointed that this is how terrible the Oilers have done against the Avalanche, and having lost to them, that's how you feel, or do you feel grateful that your team just didn't have to face the Avs and didn't have to deal with the disappointment?
And you just missed an incredible scoring opportunity by the Oilers, which is why I did this, because there's a wide open net. And I don't know if Francouz got a piece of the puck or not, or if I don't know who took the shot for the Oilers, or if he just fanned on it. Because it was a wide open net to the blocker side of Pablo Francouz, and they didn't score. So mark that with about 8 minutes to go left in this hockey game, that they had a chance to score and put this game away, and they did not do it for the Oilers. As they're on the power play right now. I think this is their 5th power play of the game that came out. That's an offside. Can't do that. And they've scored once on the power play already. Let's see if we get a replay of this, because I want to see this. I want to see if Francouz got a piece of this scoring opportunity or not. There's Darcy Kemper. Hi, Darcy. Let's see. Okay, Draisaitl took the shot, and he missed it. Oh, my God. Leon Draisaitl. How do you miss that shot? I don't know if you saw that replay, Corey, but you won't have an easier goal in your life. And he fanned on it and missed it.
The one off the post?
Yeah, the one that he hit the side of the net. He didn't even hit the post.
Oh. Part of my problem is you are on a little bit more of a delay, so I've already watched the replay that you've watched by the time that I get to it. So I'm like,
that's right. Frankenfooter.
Because I think we're.
Oh shit! We have a tie game, folks. Oh my God, they did it! I can't believe they tied it. Again, we're on delay.
Wait, I haven't seen this yet. Wait, I'm so excited to see this. Where's this turnover going to happen? Oh, damn! That was a nice goal. We were so far behind. I did not even realize that we had that much of a delay. That is an intense delay.
That's speed. Incredible. What a goal. We were right. We were right. We freaking nailed it, ladies and gentlemen. We were asked with 12 minutes to go in this game by Shannon, if I'm not mistaken, can the Avs come back? Corey and I both said yes. This game is not over yet, and god damn it, we freaking nailed it. What a play. Unbelievable. Nathan McKinnon.
That was beautiful on Nathan McKinnon.
Just smokes. That was Cody Cece. Is that who that was? I'm not sure. But just showing off his speed. Oh my God. I don't have enough good things to say about this goal. Watch this replay again and again and again, because that puck hits his skate first. Okay. So he's got to corral that puck that hits his skate first, back onto his stick, beat the defenseman, and then make a beautiful shot past Mike Smith. And this game is tied at 4 with 6.5 minutes to go. Unbelievable. Leon Draisaitl is kicking himself in the ass right now. He's as good as he is. He could have put this game away. He had a wide open net on the Edmonton power play, and he missed it completely. And did not make Pavel Francouz make a save, and that's the difference in the hockey game right now, right? Is first of all, I thought Colorado's penalty kill has been incredible. They've killed off 4 or 5 power plays tonight, if I'm not mistaken. Gonna get another penalty coming up here. Avalanche going to the power play. Whoo, baby. Oh, this is gonna be good. This is gonna be so good. What a hockey game. Wow.
This should get really, really interesting. And yes, holy goal. In all honesty, Nathan McKinnon made that look easy. He genuinely looked like bring out the broom. 100%. I felt like that's where this was going.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is why you tune into our streams, because Corey and I are smart enough to call things out before they happen. And we both nailed it. I wish I would have gone to DraftKings Sportsbook using the promo code THPN and bet the Avalanche on the money line, because I'm sure you would have gotten a nice little money line tick there when it was 4-2 on the Avalanche. And now it's 4-4, and Colorado is getting a power play. I think this is. Let me double check here. I'm going to scroll down on the stats. Yes, Colorado 1 for 2 on the power play this evening. Jeff is asking, Corey, where are you streaming from this evening?
I have Hulu Live TV, so I just have faster internet than Richie. So when mine comes before Richie, it's because we're watching the same thing. It's just that mine's a little bit faster than his, if that's why you're asking.
Oh, I think she was asking where are physically.
Oh, where am I physically streaming come from? Oh, sorry. I figured it was obvious with my giant A on my jacket. I'm streaming here from Arizona. Richie and I do the Arizona Coyotes podcast here on THPN. And we are both Arizona natives, so we are here in Phoenix. I don't know why I read it that way. I'm very just enveloped in this game at this point.
Ramon's correct.
We are psychics at this point.
Mm-hmm.
If it comes to
hockey, my God, Corey, they did this. They came all the way back. They have scored. We're on a delay, so we'll check the goal here in a second. But Colorado leads 5-4. They came all the way back from 4-2 down in this game.
Not to say that I didn't call this, but I called this. When you're like, "What about overtime?" I'm like, "No, they will just come back and win it."
Yeah. So even Corey, more of a predictor than I am. Again, I'm a little bit behind, so we're watching this here behind schedule, and we'll get to the goal. There's Cale Makar, throws it to Landis. That was Rantanen from the face-off dot, gets it past Mike Smith. I want to see the replay of this goal.
Through his legs.
Cale Makar on the point, easy pass to Rantanen for an easy goal. And you're right, 5-hole again.
Again,
Unbelievable.
I even predicted how they were going to. That's it. I don't know if there is some award for a Mike Smith predictor, but I mean, come on. That was impressive.
Yeah, and a lot of you in the chat called it too. Sean, earlier in the game when they made it 4-3, right? That the sweep was coming. I told y'all. A lot of you were super smart. You're right. This game isn't over. The Avalanche might run up the score at this point in the game. Oilers choked. God damn it, they did. Holy shit. Like, man, we knew. Again, Corey was more right than I am because I thought maybe when they were going to just go to overtime, but Mike Smith just fell flat on his face again.
Never underestimate the ability to go 5-hole on Mike Smith. It is literally the running joke when he was here in Phoenix.
When Oilers pull the goalie, it's going to be 6-4. It would not surprise me one bit if that's the case. There was something else I was going to make a point. I don't remember what it was at this point. I was going to say something else. Yeah, Nathan, welcome to the show. Appreciate you. My name is Richie Suave Flores. Corey Crenshaw here with me. We are the hosts of Sporty with Corey and Richie here on the Hockey Podcast Network. Talk about the Arizona Coyotes all the time. And it's getting dark here in Phoenix. Corey, I'm going to turn on my light. Hang on just a second. There we go. Now you can actually see me a lot better.
We need to get you a ring light, Richie, so you can be nice and lighted properly.
ain't that the truth? Isha's back with the brooms. Isha, when you joined us earlier in the game and Colorado had scored and it was 1-0, did you think that this matchup would take place exactly the way it has, which is just be absolutely ridiculous? If I'm not mistaken, this game was 1-1. Edmonton scored their second goal very late in the second period, if I'm not mistaken. And all of a sudden, since then, there's been 6 more goals in this game. Incredible.
It's been the epitome of just the floodgates opening. There's so much of that too that happens, especially in the playoffs. Where
Corey, they tied this game up at 5. We have another goal.
No way.
It's 5-5. What a game. This is exactly like game 1. This is insane. This is incredible. Now we're getting on the edge of me being correct, and this game might be going to overtime. Let's see what we got here. Oh, what a goal. Zach, I don't know if... Oh, that was Cassian on the rebound. Incredible.
So here's where it is. Richie has predicted overtime. I've predicted a Navs win. Will there be one of us that will be right?
Luckily, that wasn't a penalty, by the way. Yeah, so that was Draisaitl with the shot. So he's going to get yet another point this evening. And Cassian cleaned up the mess in front on the easy rebound. And we're tied at 5. What a flipping hockey game, folks. My goodness. Something just fell. If you're watching us and you like what you're seeing, me and Corey, you can subscribe to the channel, number 1. You can like this stream, number 2. You can keep commenting and keep the conversation going because this game might be going on for quite a while. And if you really like what you're seeing, we are $5 away. And this is something that where do we go here? We had somebody was asking me if I ever got my Big Mac. Nathan was asking if I ever got my Big Mac. I did not because we didn't get to the total. We're still $5 away from the $20 total. I promised the stream that if we got the $20 in donations, that I would open up my DoorDash app and I would let the chat choose what I eat for dinner. We have not gotten there yet. So we're $5 away from doing that. So if you want me to eat dinner tonight, or pay for my dinner tonight, pay for Corey's dinner tonight too, for that matter, you are more than welcome to donate to the stream as well. 2 minutes to go in this third period. And man, well, we did see, was it early? It was earlier in this series, right? It was where Colorado scored late, right? And they ended up winning the game with under like a minute to go, if I'm not mistaken. Or no, that was the Lightning that did that. My bad. Everything blurs together. Everything blurs together at this point. But we did see that earlier in these conference finals where there was a late goal in the game. I think it was the Lightning that did that. And they ended up scoring so that they did not go to overtime.
A lot. Shake Shack. I have tried Shake Shack once before. I actually worked at a place where the owner of Shake Shack, the one that owns all of them, he actually came and spoke to us one time. But all of these games, I will say in this, and we both know this, that the NHL is trying to go a lot more towards this way of, less enforcers, more skill, more goals to make games more exciting. You definitely are seeing this in the playoffs this year, because I feel like this has been a very, very high scoring playoffs.
Oh, and absolutely. If I don't recall the exact stat, but I think all year long scoring has been up league wide. Sean is now saying he smells OT or a goal in the last second. Well, I mean, either or, that's what we're going to get here. So you're right. Correct either way. So good for you, Sean. You're going to be correct either way. Because I would say scoring the last minute and a half is scoring in the last second. Unless you mean like actually scoring in the very, very last second. Which has happened before. Very famous story relating to the Arizona Coyotes in that, which I relate in this game, so I won't exactly get into that now. But we got Ramon saying smelling 4 periods of OT tonight. Oh god damn it. Whew, Corey, if there are 4 overtime periods tonight, I hope the people are going to pay for more alcohol for me. I'm 2 White Claws deep. I haven't had a chance to go get a third one, but if we go to overtime, there will be a third one in my future. I bought a 12-pack of White Claws. Yes?
What are you drinking in that big stein you had there? That thing is impressive.
Oh, this is water.
Oh.
It's a rattlesnake mug.
Snake?
Yeah.
There's a rattlesnake mug. I like our Diamondbacks theme we got going on here.
Yep. 1 minute to go. For most of you, probably less than that. What a game. 5-5. Late in the third period. Colorado wins. They go to the Stanley Cup final for the first time in over 20 years. Edmonton wins. We get a game 5. Back in Colorado. 45 to go here on my stream here.
I've got 27, 26, 25.
Oh. So Corey's ahead of me here. So at the moment, we might be getting overtime. Here's the thing, though. I have a feeling we're not going to get a lot of overtime, knowing how this game has gone. Like, if we do go to overtime, Corey, please tell me when the period ends.
I'm watching very intently. It's gonna end. Oh wait, no, we got a whistle. Stoppage and play at 2.2 seconds.
Oh, if we do go to overtime, this game is ending. Here's another prediction. We've been really good about our predictions tonight, Corey. If this game does go to overtime, we are getting a goal within the first 3 minutes of overtime.
I could see that. I was surprised that nothing was scored here at the end of this game, to be honest with you. I genuinely thought that Colorado was going to win in regulation. So I'm actually kind of surprised. So I would definitely say the same thing. It's probably going to be pretty quick.
All right.
Also,
we're going to take yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Also, Colorado can play pretty offensive in this, considering the fact that they don't really have much to lose, whereas Edmonton does not.
Couple quick comments here. CallMeChunLi saying, "Oh, hello, new host. Hi." we're not new by any means. Been on the network for a while. Corey and I are very busy people. We don't really have a lot of time to do a lot of these live streams. We did have some time tonight. So thanks for tuning in. If you just to kind of reintroduce ourselves as we head to overtime here. Oh, baby. Just feed this into my veins, baby. And give me Darcy Kemper and net for the Avalanche while we're at it, too. Get rid of Pablo Francis. My name is Richie. Corey is right below me. We are the hosts of Sporty with Corey and Richie on the Hockey Podcast Network. We cover the Arizona Coyotes here on the network. That's who we are, in case you were wondering. So I have a feeling, ladies and gentlemen, that now that we're going to overtime, the people are going to come. The people are going to come. If you build it, they will come. And the Avalanche and Oilers tonight have built this game into an overtime game. And so the people are going to start coming in. We do appreciate you. It is now getting near 8 o'clock here on the West Coast. So that means it's getting near 11 o'clock on the East Coast. I'm going to do a couple more comments here, and then we'll go to break because I need another White Claw. I need to replenish my water. I'm sure you do as well. Jeff is asking if you are an alum from ASU, Corey.
100% I am. I'm trying to see if there's anything sitting here. Wow, this is kind of surprising. I think the only thing I have in here right now is to prove that I am. I actually used to have a lot more in here. But my husband used to play hockey at ASU, and there you go. This jacket is the closest thing I've got of all of my ASU fandom. But yes, I am an ASU alum as well. I used to have a pitchfork up here. I could have brought that out, but you know.
Kevin, thanks for joining us here on the stream tonight. Much appreciate you. With the goaltending on either side, I really don't think it will be a long OT. That's what I was just saying. Less than 3 minutes, and we're done. I have a feeling. Less than 3 minutes. Let's see what else we got here. Sean saying 11 o'clock here in the East. That's correct. Nathan is saying, please $5 for Richie. To be honest, you're 100% correct. I have not eaten, Corey, since about 1 o'clock this afternoon. So I'm starving, and you guys can help me eat and pay for my dinner and Corey's dinner for that matter. If you donate another $5 here in overtime. And then you guys will pick what I eat because I'll put up the DoorDash app and you guys can pick what I eat. And that's $5 away. You can super chat, donate, etc., to make that happen. Let's see what else we got here. Isha weighing in. I cannot believe it's OT. Isha, if you were listening to us, you would have known that when we were asked with 12 minutes to go, we figured that the Avalanche would come back. When it was 4-4, I said OT was coming. So I absolutely could believe it that it was going to happen. Isha, thanks for the $5. I think that's the $20. That's $20 right there, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for the donation, Isha. Appreciate you, dude. So here's what we're going to do, Corey. We're going to take a break. I'm going to go grab another White Claw, replenish my water, and then since we're in intermission, this is perfect timing. We're together as a group. We're going to order my food. And because of the chat, we're going to let them pick what I'm eating tonight. All right? We're going to do that. So thanks, Isha. We appreciate it. My name's Richie. She's Corey. Sporty with Corey and Richie Suave on the Hockey Podcast. Now we're covering the Arizona Coyotes. If you want to check us out, you can do that wherever you get your podcasts. 5-5 going to overtime. Stick with us, everybody. This is going to be a barn burner. It's going to be a good one. We'll be back in about 2 minutes.
All right, team, time to bet NFL games. Confidence.
I'm feeling a parlay with more legs than a spider.
So 9 legs.
Roll the dice, baby.
Indecision.
We pick one home favorite. I abstain.
You can't abstain.
Boring. 6-leg parlay, 2 home dogs, all hitting the over. Boom!
Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and feel the NFL action like never before.
All right, everybody. Welcome back. Hockey Podcast Network YouTube channel. We're going to overtime. 5-5 after 60 minutes, and that's not enough to decide this hockey game. Thanks for hanging out with us. If you're watching us, there's a lot of you tuning in because we're going to overtime. So let's reset what's going to happen here and what's going on. My name is Richie Suave Flores. My co-host is Corey Crenshaw. She's getting situated there, but that's her right there. We are the hosts of Sporty with Corey and Richie here on the Hockey Podcast Network, and both of us were called in as emergency backup hosts for this evening. Isha, who you see a lot, City Life Project, that's his YouTube channel. Go check that out. Got a lot of vlogs going on that channel if you like music and culture and all that cool stuff. Isha's got a lot of cool stuff on his channel. He hosts a lot of these. He's also like the big wig of the network. He was the guy who reached out to Corey and I was like, hey, do you want to come join our brand new network? And ever since then, we've grown immensely. And now we're doing these live streams for you guys, in large part due to Isha. But Isha reached out to me about an hour and a half before the game. And I was like, hey, do you want to do this? I'm like, yeah, why not? Cool. It should be fun. And several hours later, it's 5-5 and we're going to overtime. So you get me and Corey as your emergency backup host tonight. We hope you've enjoyed what you've seen so far this evening. The game has been great. We hope Corey and I have been entertaining as well this evening. We got some new people chiming in here. Nathan is asking about chicken nuggets. That actually sounds really good right now. I'm not going to lie. EMoy, Avalanche fan, says, what a crazy third period. Absolutely. And you're just tuning in, May, but Corey and I called it. Both of us were asked about if the Avalanche should come back, and both of us said yes, because Mike Smith is that bad. And guess what did we see? Mike Smith was, yes, that bad. Let's see what else we got going on here. We got NASCAR Planet saying sushi for dinner. That sounds delicious. What else we got here? Donnell asking, who do you got winning in OT? I think Corey and I have made this very apparent. Before the start of the show, before the start of the game, I thought it was all Avalanche. Oh, look, there's Mike Smith leaving his net and turning the puck over. Shocker! They're showing a replay from earlier in the game. But this is Avalanche to me. This is all Avalanche, in my opinion. I just don't see Mike Smith making the save to win the Oilers this game. And I think Corey would agree with me on that.
Absolutely.
Right,
topic question,
yeah.
though, Richie, that I got to ask you. As someone who shaved his hair to be in a mohawk for a show that you were on previously, what do you think of Paul Bissonnette's hair?
good for him. I love Biz. He's great. Corey and I know him. Corey knows him better than I do. But yeah, it's so funny. And I have captions on my TV here, so I can't even, it's covering up his face, but good for him. He looks great. You look good, Biz. Good stuff.
I love the fact that was the losing end of a bet, though. Like that's what you bet of all things. I didn't hear how the bet actually went down, so I don't know how they got to that point, but I think that's a hilarious bet.
All right, so before we go any further, what do you guys want me to order? I'm bringing up DoorDash right now. Okay, continue with Apple. I have to sign in. Face ID. There we go. That's not where I am. It thinks I'm in LA for some reason. I'm definitely not at LA. Okay. So yeah, what do you guys think? What should I eat here? We're in intermission, so we can do this. We have some time. I promised everybody that if we got to $20 in donations, and we did, that you guys would be able to pick what I'm eating for dinner. I have seen some McDonald's in the chat. That seems to me to be the leader in the clubhouse. There's a McDonald's like 5-minute drive away from me, so that shouldn't take too long. But what do you got? What do you got for me? Nathan is saying Big Mac, Big Mac. Sean is asking for nuggies. So should I do Big Mac and nuggies? Should I do both? I think that's a good compromise.
You could. You absolutely could.
Yeah, if anybody really wants to pick what I want for dinner, you can, and you're feeling tremendous and you like what you're seeing tonight, you can super chat me. And if you super chat me and donate, super chat Corey and I, super chat the stream, you get to decide. You get to decide if you super chat. So right now, if we don't get a super chat in the next 2 minutes, I'm going to pull this up and I'm going to order from McDonald's. All right, here we go. Oh, there's McDonald's right there. There's McDonald's right there. McDonald's. Mickey D's. All right. It says 22 minutes delivery time. I swear, if they show up when this game is still going on and I do not hear the knock on the door, that's not, I'm not going to be a very happy guy. Okay, so let's see. We got the Big Mac meal. Should I do the Big Mac meal? Is that what we're doing, chat? Is that what we're doing? Big Mac meal? Or just the nuggets and the Big Mac? Nathan says just the nuggets and the Big Mac.
Yeah, I feel like the fries would be overboard. Like the nuggets are your fries.
Yes. Okay. So that's what we're going to do. Let's see. Where are you? Okay. Most popular. 20-piece McNuggets for $9. Okay. Dinner menu, most popular. What if I don't want the meal, DoorDash? I don't want the meal. I just want the Big Mac. This is stressful. I don't like this. Oh, Nathan's saying McFlurry too. Oh, that sounds so good.
Ooh.
Here's the thing. Nathan, here's the thing. Again, I live in Arizona, so does Corey. If I order a McFlurry, by the time it gets to my door, it is going to be soup. It is going to be
yes,
milk.
It'll be.
So that's a no-go, ladies and gentlemen. That's a no-go. Okay, let me figure this out. This is great freaking radio as I try to figure out how to do this. Okay, shareables. No, I don't want that.
But no, it is true. Your ice cream melts very, very quickly here in Arizona. It's just so stinking hot no matter what you do. There's no way to save it outside of like actually putting it in a to-go container and then putting it in like a little lunch box, and then it might survive.
Oh, I found it. Individual items, Big Mac. There we go. Okay. Victor is asking what happened to Isha. Isha is off tonight, Victor. So we appreciate you tuning in for overtime here. Isha could not do the entirety of the show this evening, so he texted me about an hour and a half before and was like, hey, can you do tonight's live stream? I said yes, and it just so happens that we're going to overtime here this evening. Corey and I are your hosts. I'm Richie. This is Corey below me. We are Sporty with Corey and Richie here on the Hockey Podcast Network. Corey, Andrew wants to know, did you eat dinner tonight? I'm assuming you did.
Yes, I had sushi. So that's why I was voting for sushi, because I love sushi. That's what I ate earlier. I am now, but like since I had sushi a little while ago, I was hungry for a snack. So I'm now eating Swedish fish. So if you see me like pulling random things from my lap, it's Swedish fish because Swedish fish are good. Yeah, that's what I had with sushi.
Okay, so the next question, Corey, is what should my dipping sauces be? Chat, here's my options for dipping sauces. Are we getting ready to go for the third period? We'll focus on the game, I promise. But quickly, last question, and I'm going to order this bad boy. Dipping sauces, quick. Chat, first person. I have barbecue, sweet and sour, honey packet, hot mustard, creamy ranch, hot picante salsa.
They don't allow you to have Szechuan sauce except for special days.
We're underway in overtime, everybody. So I'm going to pick my own sauces. But thank you, everybody, for donating tonight as we are underway in overtime. 5-5. Colorado scores. They go to the Stanley Cup final. Donnell, barbecue sauce, sweet and sour? It is. All right. That's what I'm doing. Barbecue sauce and sweet and sour. Oh, I get one more, too. Yeah, so if Edmonton does not win this game, they go home. Their season is over. Colorado, they win. They go to the Stanley Cup final. Colorado outshooting Edmonton 40-35 in this game so far. In overtime. 10 goals scored in this game. This is more of what I thought we were going to get. Because earlier in the show, I was talking about how it was a 1-1 game. I was like, man, I did not foresee that coming one bit at all. And lo and behold, we got 8 more goals in this game. Jeff says Big Mac is bad for you. Yes, it is, which is why I never eat fast food. Except for tonight, because you guys were gracious enough to donate to the show. So I do appreciate that. All right, I got one more here. Let's see. We'll go with Spicy Buffalo. Okay, there we go. Who do you guys think is going to pull this off? Me and Corey are both on the Avalanche, and it looks like a lot of you are as well. NASCAR Planet saying Avalanche. Let's see who else we got here. Do we have anybody else? Anybody picking the Oilers? That's really what I want to know. Oh, the game's over, ladies and gentlemen. It's over. It is over. I'm on a delay, but according to Flash Score, this game is over. The Colorado Avalanche are going to the Stanley Cup final. They sweep the Edmonton Oilers 4-0. They go on the road. They win.
Oh.
Colorado advances to their first Stanley Cup final in over 20 years, and they send the Oilers home. Very, very sad. The Oilers blew a 2-goal lead in this game. Mike Smith screwing up, ladies and gentlemen.
Watch him
doing
squirm.
God knows what. God knows what. What in the world was Mike Smith doing?
It's going to a review.
Yeah, he's asking for goaltender interference here. He's not going to get it, folks. I literally just saw what happened. So we're going to get a replay here. But let's see who scored. I'm not sure who scored. Who's going to get credit for this goal? I'm just watching the replay now, so let's take a look and see what happened. Let's see if they have an option here. That shot came in from. They might get a high stick here. That was play with the high stick. I think that's what they're asking for. It's going to be tough to overturn.
Oh,
from that angle. Oh gosh. Oh my goodness. Yeah, that's going to be tough. Tough to overturn. That looked high to me, Corey. That looked high.
Yeah, it did.
It looked over the crossbar on first glance for me. I think this is coming back. And we've seen this so many times before. This is hard to overturn.
Oh,
right?
It is like so close. Like it's just barely high.
This is a good look here. It's so hard to tell from some of these angles, man.
I feel like it's just barely, but it can go either way. They're celebrating. That means it's good.
That means it's good. So the review stands, and Isha brings up a good point too. That goal was not tipped in off the high stick. And I wonder if that's why this goal stands here. But you're right. Goodbye, Edmonton. Colorado is advancing to the Stanley Cup final for the first time in over 20 years. They get the sweep. They get the win 6-5. They come back. in this game, they were down 4-2 in the third period with 12 minutes to go. All of us were asked if Colorado was going to come back and win this game. Corey and I both said yes. And poor Mike Smith, just kidding. What a game. What a game. I wish this series would have gone longer. I hope Connor McDavid gets himself a goaltender worth of shit, though, for the love of goodness. But congratulations to the Colorado Avalanche. They are going to the Stanley Cup final with a sweep and in overtime. By the way, another prediction that I was right on, Corey. I said that this game would be over in less than 3 minutes, and it was.
You are correct. And we both thought it was going to be the Avs. I feel like the Avs was the easiest pick to make. It just, they have made it so easy this year, and the fact that if they don't win the Stanley Cup, I will be very, very surprised. Just from the get-go of this one, I just felt like they were going to make it there. This was their year. If this isn't their year, I don't know when they'll have a better chance, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I tend to agree with you. The way I would, congratulations to the Avalanche fans in the chat. Super happy for you guys. Super happy for Darcy Kemper. He's going to get to play in the Stanley Cup final. Cannot tell you how excited I am about that. Hopefully he gets back in net in game one. Going to have a couple of days recovery here because I have a feeling that the Eastern Conference final is going to continue on. I think that's going to be a longer 6 and 7 game series. So congratulations, May. Your team's going to the Stanley Cup final. Incredible. Avs find a way. Yeah, that's what Stanley Cup teams do, Corey. They do exactly what the Avalanche did tonight. Because other teams, you're down 4-2 and you're up 3-0 in a series. You're like, okay, that's fine. Let's go win this bad boy at home. Let's, pack it up and move on. But the Avalanche did not do that. And they stepped on the gas pedal, and they're going to the Stanley Cup final with the handshake lines. Congratulations. Let's see what else we got here. Shannon says, put the broom in the closet. Christian saying we won. Kevin Brown saying, break up the Oilers. We were kind of saying that earlier, which is like, poor Connor McDavid, like, god dang. And I think I saw Donnell. So we have a lot of chats coming in here. Donnell saying you kind of feel bad for McDavid. I certainly do. Like, he deserves so much better.
100%.
So much better. Yeah, this is going to be good. This is going to be good. And I think you were right, Corey. I think if I had to pick right now, the Avalanche, to me, they've really had the most talent. They've been the best team. I feel like they're a team of destiny in a way. Because I would say this. The way the Avalanche are now is how the Lightning were several years ago, right? Where the Lightning were they were there, man. They were the best team. They had the President's Trophy. They were on the edge. They had the best talent. And they just couldn't quite crack that ceiling. And then they did, and they won back-to-back cups. And I have a feeling that's what we're going to see with the Avalanche now. Is now they're the team that could become the dynasty now. Because they're so much younger. Their core is so much younger than the Avalanche, than the Lightning have, right? The Lightning's core is starting to age a little bit, right? And the Avalanche aren't that way. And now we could see the Avs become the next dynasty. And they could become the team that's going to win 2-3 cups in the next 5 years. They could be the next Penguins. They could be the next Lightning. And that'd be good for the sport because there are a lot of good young players on the Avalanche that are easy to root for.
Yeah, it's honestly, we've even talked about on the podcast how they are kind of the example of where we kind of want the Coyotes to go and really be able to create that young core who can really kind of rise up over the years and have longevity to it. And you see that a lot in other teams that over the years that have been very progressively good that start with these really young core guys that come through and really just kind of elevate a team. And you have a lot of them, as you were saying earlier, really starting to age out. We're getting into this point where you have a whole new group of really big superstars that are coming in, and a lot of them are coming into teams that really aren't producing for them. And you're seeing that here with Connor McDavid and the fact that, you know, they're not producing for him. Someone needs to be taking Leon Draisaitl out for a fucking steak tonight because of the fact that he laid it all out there and had no support in that, goaltender and defensive wise. And so the fact that you have players like that and, you know, our future Coyote, Austin Matthews, that we keep on putting
Bring
into
Austin
existence
home.
here. He's another great example of the fact of a team like the Leafs that really just aren't producing for him. Bye, Lauren. But yeah, really, there are so many young studs that are coming up in the league right now, and their teams just aren't really creating a solid core around them, or really being able to put together a defense and goaltenders that can really support their ability to score goals.
Still got a lot of people tuning into the chat, so we'll hang around here for a couple more minutes, and people are still willing to chat with us as we watch the Avalanche celebrate their Western Conference championship now. There's Darcy Kemper. Look at him. He looks so happy. I'm very, very happy for Darcy Kemper. As the co-founder, co-president of the Darcy for Vezina campaign, which is now going to be Darcy for Conn Smythe. Big fan of Darcy Kemper getting a chance to play for the Stanley Cup. Of course, he leaves the Coyotes, and this is exactly what happened. So I'm very excited to see Darcy. Hopefully he comes back healthy and he's able to play in game one. Yeah, look at Darcy's smile. Look at that. Let's see what else we got in the chat here. NASCAR fan says Dynasty, like we were just talking about, would not surprise me one bit. Saying 3 cups will not surprise me. If it's one of those things that, like, you crack the ceiling, you win a cup, you just know how to do it, which is why the Lightning are back in the Eastern Conference Final again. Like, that's part of the reason to me why they beat Toronto, is they've been there, they've done that, and they just know how to win in the playoffs. And there's something to say about that. And now I think Colorado has finally figured that out. And who they play in the Cup Final, and who's the better matchup, who knows? But again, I said this earlier, Corey, before you joined us, and I'm curious to get your take on it. Who do you want to see them play? Which matchup? Is it Colorado, New York, or is it Colorado, Tampa that would pique your interest the most? That a matchup that you see and you go, I got to tune in for every single game of this championship.
Colorado, Tampa.
Me too.
I just feel like they're so similar in the way of they're really just well-built teams. I'd really like to be able to see them as you said, they're, Tampa's kind of going to be towards more their ladder, whereas the Avs are, just now hitting their peak. So it should be interesting too to see that matchup and to see if Tampa's really losing their stuff or not. And this would be a really good chance to be able to see that. So I would really like to see that.
Yeah, I really hope that's the case. And New York is up 2-1 in that series as we speak. They play game 4 tomorrow, if I'm not mistaken. Isha chiming in. Thanks for jumping in on. It was fun. This was a lot of fun. I cannot thank Corey enough for hanging out with me for the third period and overtime. I could not have imagined what it would have been like to be yapping by myself for 3.5 hours that we're rolling on right now. And we'll wrap this up here in just a moment. But yeah, Be Strange, thanks for joining us tonight. Appreciate it here at the end of the stream. Says Avs versus New York Rangers is what they want to see. And again, as somebody who does not like New York, I think the hockey would be great. And Avs New York Rangers final would be great because you get that ultimate matchup of your high-flying offense, your talent with your Colorado Avalanche, and then you get your more lockdown defense, goaltending, Igor Shesterkin, a team that battles hard for 60 minutes that's tough to play against with the Rangers. So I think from a hockey's perspective, that would be a really interesting matchup. And like I said earlier in the stream, Corey, too, you get an Avs New York Rangers final, the ratings are going to be sky high as they move now to being on ABC and ESPN in the Stanley Cup final. Excuse me. That would be a really interesting matchup. And Donnell, as you were saying, as a diehard New York sports fan, Rangers, Islanders, Devils, the Avalanche scares me if the Rangers somehow beat the Lightning and face the Avs. We'll see. And I agree. The Big Mac, I actually haven't ordered it yet, but I promise I will order it after the stream is over. Actually, to save me some money on a DoorDash, I'll probably just drive to McDonald's and get my Big Mac. So I promise it's coming. Nathan, you can follow me on Twitter at rflores91. That's my Twitter account. I'll tweet out a picture of my Big Mac. Promise you that. NASCAR Plan says, doesn't matter. Avalanche will win. Nobody can hang this year. I tend to agree. I think whoever they face, I think the Avalanche are definitely the favorites. Nigel weighing in. Thanks for joining us tonight, Nigel. We appreciate it. Says, let's go Avs. Let's go Avs. I don't really have anything else to talk about here. Shannon weighing in says, you didn't get the Big Mac. I didn't, because right when I went to go press order, the game was over. So I've been trying to wrap up the stream more so than ordering food. Yeah, we don't really have anything else. I did not get my meal, not yet. I was in the process of ordering it. And I haven't finished the order. Sean, thanks for chiming in tonight. Good night. Appreciate you. A nice feeling being on top, says NASCAR here. Yes. We got 4 more wins, though. 4 more wins, NASCAR. I will say, as a Rams fan, as we previously discussed, winning a championship is just, it's insane. The feeling is incredible. Corey knows this because she FaceTimed me right after the Rams won the Super Bowl. And I don't know if she's ever seen me happier than that particular moment. So, all right, what else we got here? We got Mexican food in Arizona. Any good? Yes, it's delicious. But I feel like that's a given.
If you love Sonoran Mexican food, because that's what we've got here, and nothing actually I feel like compares to it whenever we go anywhere else.
Shannon saying we want the Lightning. Andrew saying, Corey, you are so nice. I agree. Corey is super nice. Is a super nice person, which is why we're besties. Ramon, thanks for hanging out with us tonight, man. I do appreciate it. We appreciate it. It was a long stream. We're going on 3.5 hours now, so we'll wrap this up in just a minute here. But Ramon, thank you for the donation earlier in the show. I appreciate that. Corey appreciates it. And anyway, yeah, I'm tired. I'm going to drink the rest of my White Claw here. I've been yapping for way too long, so we'll wrap this up, and we'll wrap this up with this, folks. How you can listen to us, how you can watch us, how you can follow us. If you enjoyed watching Corey and I tonight, the name of our podcast, once again, is Sporty with Corey and Richie on the Hockey Podcast Network. And we talk about the Arizona Coyotes. So it's going to be an interesting offseason for the Coyotes. They're picking third in the NHL draft. We'll do some more shows coming up later this summer as we get closer to the draft. More shows as we figure out what's going on with the arena, et cetera, et cetera.
If you think this was long, Richie just sat through an entire 8-hour town hall to see how Tempe would vote on just negotiations for the Coyotes' new entertainment district. So,
ain't that the truth? So you can follow us on Twitter if you're on Twitter at Corey_Richie Show. You can follow me on Twitter at rflores91, as I previously stated. Corey, where can people find you on the Twitters?
You can find me at Corey Nicole right down there. And then, and of course on at Corey_Richie Show, because, Richie and I both run our show Twitter. So, there's a little sprinkle of my stuff in there, a little sprinkle of his stuff in there. We never really say, kind of have to guess who's doing it, but we both run it and we throw a little stuff here and there. So, follow us on both just to get, or I guess on all three of them in order to get all of that, all the good Coyote stuff, all of our other random takes. Richie tweets a lot about his shows and stuff. He just got into finishing Stranger Things, and he's been really bothered.
I haven't finished it
by
yet.
certain
I haven't finished it. I still have one episode left. That's actually what I'm doing. As soon as I hang up and we say goodnight here, I'm gonna go watch episode 7 of Stranger Things.
Well, I have to give you crap about something really quickly. And he's been really bothered by a certain character's hair during most of it. Never even once thought about her hair through the entire show. But if you want to hear Richie's take on her hair, it's on his Twitter.
This is true. Do not like Nancy's hair this season. Nancy Wheeler, Stranger Things, look it up. Her hair, god awful. Can't stand it. Do not like it. It has bit into my enjoyment of this 4th season of Stranger Things. But God, we have gone off the rails, ladies and gentlemen, if we try to wrap up the show. There's still 35 people watching. So like, if you guys just want to watch us yik yak, I'm cool with that. I appreciate that. But at some point, Corey and I have to move on with our night. So I think we're going to do that right now. But anyway, so we did the Twitter, we did the thing. All right. You got anything else, Corey, before I say goodbye?
If you want to know anything about the 8-hour town hall that Richie watched all of, I watched about 5 hours of it. We did an entire podcast on that, and it is anywhere you find your podcast. We're sporty with Corey and Richie, because we used to do all sports before we just did hockey, so that was why we had that name. So go over and listen to that podcast that we did, kind of breaking down that 8-hour town hall on, where everything is at and what possibly could be coming for the Coyotes in the future, and how Tempe will be a mecca of hockey if this goes through.
Yeah, so if you want all your answers about what's going on with the Coyotes and their situation, their arena situation, I'd recommend going to listen to that show. We try to inform you as best we could. So with that said, thanks to everybody in the chat for hanging out with us tonight. Thank you so much for your donations. We did get to $20. I promise I'll get to my McDonald's eventually. I cannot thank you guys enough for doing that. I cannot thank you guys enough for hanging out with me. A lot of you were here all night long, all 3 hours spent with Corey and I. My voice is tired. That's 3.5 hours of yakking. Thanks to Corey for hanging out with me. Congratulations to the Colorado Avalanche on going to the Stanley Cup Final. We will have more streams here on the channel coming up tomorrow for game number 4 of the Eastern Conference Final. So check that out right here. If you don't want to miss it, you can subscribe to the channel. You can like this stream, etc., etc. Thanks again to DraftKings, promo code THPN. You can sign up, get a bunch of stuff. And hopefully you bet the Avalanche to come back when they were down 4-2. Thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight, everybody. Appreciate it. Until next time, good night and good hockey, everybody. I screwed this up. There's an outro here that I'm supposed to play, so I'm going to do that right now. So take 2, 3, 2, 1. Good night and good hockey, everybody.